So guys, we love guys like that. This is a Sunday night hangout. Like the video, subscribe, smash the like button, get that freaking like up, smash that like button, guys. So we're gonna be talking about Julian Nagelsmann potentially replacing Potter, and in the next like 1 hour ago, it was a breaking news. Antonio Conte has been sacked as a Tottenham Hotspur manager. We're gonna talk about Conte. We're going to talk about the best 10 in modern era football, like the best number 10. When we look at the early years of 2000 to 2023, who is the best 10? We're also going to look at the best Champions League, the best Champions League winners. Let's start with 2010 to 2023. We're going to do that. The best Champions League winner, who has been the best. We're going to look at them. We're going to look at the team. We're going to look at the managers and everything. Like the vid, subscribe, smash the like button. And I'm also watching the Euro too. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing in the Euro, but it's too early to talk about it. We're gonna see how everything surfaces. But like the vid, smash the like button, get that freaking likes up, smash that like button, get that likes up, guys, get that freaking likes up, get the likes up, like that damn vid, like the vid, guys. My people, let's move, let's go. Yo, my people, how na day now? This is a Sunday night hangout where we talk about football. As we gear up for the Premier League matches after the international break, which is gonna be next weekend. Like the vid, subscribe, smash the like button, guys. Like that vid, guys. We're on the road to 3K subscriber, guys. We're on the road to 3K subscriber. Get that freaking like, smash the like button, subscribe to the Blue Studio, guys. We are getting to 3K subscriber. We're almost there, guys. Like that vid, guys. So we're going to talk about Conte being sacked by Tottenham Hotspur, Nagelsmann to potentially replace Harry Potter, and also we're going to discuss about the best 10 in modern era from early 2010, maybe early 2010 to 03. Let's do 010 because in those kind of 2010, early 2000, maybe we'll see. Let's do 2010 to 2023 now, and then we'll talk about the Champions League winners. Who has been the best Champions League winner from the early 2010 to 2023. Like the vid, like that damn vid, subscribe, smash the like button. Let's move. So let's start with Conte first. Chimere, firstly, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. How are you doing?
Happy Sunday to you.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah. Firstly, your take on Antonio Conte.
Well, first, big up to Abdullahi. Guys, smash the like button. And big up to people, the panel, SSB, big up, and you watching in the chat. But as far as content, man, this I always knew that it was gonna end like this because Conte was a guy. I mean, the first season last year, he did his job. He was about to stabilize the club because under Nuno they were playing really poorly. Like really poorly. So he came in, he did his job last year. He stabilized them. He got them back in fourth place. In a place where at least they're competitive. They have a chance to make the CL. That's all you can ask for after last year. But this year, they didn't build on what they did last year. That's a disappointment. You think after making the Champions League last year, ended the season very well, that you got new signings, you try to build on that. But this year they just haven't built on it. The signings that they bought haven't really panned out. And Basuma's not really playing that much. Richarlison isn't playing. He's not happy with his playing time. All these new guys they bought, they aren't really doing much. And the style of play also has been bad. like I think fans would be willing to be tolerated if you're playing good football. But you know what I'm saying? If you're playing good football, if they can see something, but you're losing. But the football tournament playing just hasn't been good. It's been poor. You know, it's too defensive. You know, and that's the thing. It's too pragmatic. Because I remember they were playing AC Milan in the Champions League, and they were losing the tie. And Conte brought off Kulusevski, their best attacker in the game, for a defender. You know, and and it's just like it's too pragmatic. The football's just been too pragmatic. You know, and I know people would say at the end of the day, it's Tottenham. They don't like ambition. They lack ambition, whatever. But I can't blame them because when you hire managers like Mourinho and Conte, that shows that you have ambition because you're trying to hire managers who have a track record of winning things, you know.
Mhm.
And they backed Conte in the summer. They backed him even in the January when he got there.
But
So
the problem is majority of the players were they his player or some of them are the board signing, like the expense and co.
I mean, those things we never know, you know. But those things we never know who's born and who's not. But they did back. I mean, they backed Conte. You know, they bought players in January when he first got there. This Kulusevski, they got him from Juventus. He's been a steal for them. They got him when Conte got there. Even, you know, they got some players in the summer. You know, and see, this is the issue with Tottenham. This is why it doesn't matter what if a manager Tottenham hire. This is why there'll be an issue with moving up, getting better because they'll always get the leftovers from the other big clubs because nobody's going to reject Chelsea to go to Tottenham. Nobody's going to reject United to go to Tottenham. Nobody's going to reject Arsenal to go to Tottenham. They don't have the money to compete, but also they don't have the prestige to compete with the big clubs. Also, so like they'll get the leftovers. That's why they get like Basuma, Richarlison, players like that the big clubs aren't going for like that. You know, that's why they'll never be able to go big. So for Tottenham, the best bet for them is to one, get a manager that one is good at developing players, and two, scout properly. You know, like this guy's Napoli did. That's their best way to get to the top. You know, you can't cheat success. Hiring managers like Mourinho and Conte who have proven track records and coaching proven teams or proven players where your team isn't on that, when your team doesn't have that, it's not gonna work. You know? It's just not gonna work. You know, and Conte at the end of the day, this is always gonna happen with Conte because his track record has shown that yes, he'll come in and he'll stabilize your club for a season or two, but then it'll end badly. You know, that's how it ended at Inter, it ended at Juve, and it ended at Chelsea. He did his job, he stabilized them, but he left badly on bad terms, just like it did at Tottenham. You know, and I can't really blame the player. I mean, because they're still in fourth place. You know, they're still in the Champions League spots if the season ended today. So I don't really think it's been horrible, but I think just the frustration is that last year they ended so good for them, and that this year they haven't built on it. You know, the football has been bad. I think that's the frustration with the fans. That's the frustration, and they've had so many chances to, you know, they've blown so many late leads. You know, but I can't really blame the players, but so much because at the end of the day, when you're a manager, you know, like for example, like it's like say you're a dad, right? You're the head of the household, right? When you're the head of the household, when everything goes through you, whatever happens, it's a reflection of you. You know, it's not about like you can't like for example, if you have a son, right? But your son, you know, your son isn't doing well in school or he's doing bad things. You know, it's gonna be a reflection on you because the environment, because you're the one who's the head of the environment. You know, so
Yep.
when you're a coach, you're the head of the environment. You know, when you say the players don't have fight, you're the one who's supposed to instill that fight in them. You know, just like a parent is supposed to instill wisdom in their children. It's the same thing. You know, you're supposed to do those things. That's what you're paid for. So when the team is lacking fight, they're lacking spirit. You know, all those things you're saying they're lacking. That's a reflection of your coaching. You know, because you're the head of the house. You're the manager. You know,
Mhm.
so everybody, that's how you build a winning mentality by coaching. Players just don't grow up with players just don't start winning things out of the blue. Just wake up, but you have to build it by coaching. You know, that's how things are built in life by what by by the experiences people go through. So at the end of the day, man, Conte has to take responsibility as a manager. You know, he didn't do his job. His job was there to change the culture of Tottenham, to instill hardship in them to make them winners, and he hasn't done that good enough. That's just the reality. You know, that doesn't mean that he's not a good coach.
But
There's
my issue with Conte is every club is just like Thomas Tuchel. Every club he has gone to, there's always a problem with the hierarchies. Chelsea, from Juventus to Chelsea to Inter Milan now to Tottenham Hotspur. Same thing with Tuchel from Mainz to Borussia Dortmund to PSG to Chelsea now to Bayern. So
Yeah.
yes, in as much as those managers are very elite manager, but they also have to watch themselves in terms of the way they coach. Because if you have a bad reputation when it comes to having a problem with the hierarchy, how do you get a job as a manager? It will be very difficult because your legacy and your reputation will always tell you, I have a bad reputation with these people, with these people. It can work. That's my issue with Conte. I know how Conte is good when it comes to league team. He knows how to win the league when you give him the right players. He always have a problem with the hierarchies. That's my issue with this. Every club is going to have an hierarchy issue. Same thing with Tuchel. Tuchel is an elite manager. But what is the failure of Tuchel? Having a problem with the hierarchies. That's my issue with Tuchel.
Yeah, that's the thing. These guys, Tuchel and Conte, they're very prideful guys. They're stubborn. If things they want things their way, which is fine. If I'm gonna coach a club, I want things done my way too. If I'm being honest, because if I'm gonna be the one coaching the players, if at the end of the day, if the team does bad, it's gonna be on me. I'd rather it be on my terms. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because either way, when the team does bad, it's gonna be on you regardless. Because you're the manager, you're gonna be the one to get sacked. You're gonna be the one to pay the price, not the players. So I'd rather want it to be on my terms, so I can understand that. But at the end of the day, when you're the coach of a club, you have to stand up there. You're the leader. Just like I said, the father's head of the house. So you're the leader. You have to stand up there. You have to say, I didn't do good enough. You can't say it's the players and lacking spirit, lacking that, because you're supposed to coach them. You're supposed to instill that in them. You watch them every day in practice. You're supposed to develop that in them. And if they haven't developed that, then that's just not you haven't done a good enough job. And that's how you build, that's how your players now will start fighting for you, fighting for you more because they're saying, okay, if our coach can go out there and put his neck on the line for us, then we'll go out there and do the same. But we'll just put on the players, and you're just saying there's no spirit, there's no this, there's no that, you're gonna lose the dressing room. And Tottenham had no choice. He had no choice because you can't bring a coach back after he says that. It's too different, it's too awkward, you know. It's too awkward.
That's
Like
deep. That's very deep. That's long, man.
like
What he said after the post match, Lord have mercy.
yeah, it's too
That was
awkward.
that is typical Conte. I'm not surprised because that's typical Conte. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I don't think I don't think he wanted. I think he was looking for a way out. I don't think he's been happy in Tottenham, man. Like
Hmm.
even he only signed a 2 year contract, and he didn't even
Yeah,
sign a contract extension. So I
yeah.
think he's been wanting to leave. He's been looking at leaving. Maybe he has another job somewhere lined up. But I think I just don't. I just think he wanted to go. I think it's best for both parties if he goes. He did his job last year. He came when the club was going through a
Because
bad period.
we said it, this will be a big factor in Harry Kane's decision because I don't think they'll make top four, and if they don't make top four, will Harry Kane be able to play Europa League? I'm not sure because
Yes.
Kane has to make a decision. He has
Yeah,
to.
and Harry Kane, that one would be interesting.
Kane
But
don't have any decision. If he have decision, he would have made it in his life for long. That guy, just forget that guy. That guy
Okay,
just want to be
relax.
scoring. No, yeah, I just want. I just hear that Hurricane decision. Just leave that guy because that guy don't look like somebody that have decision. He should be scoring,
I,
go and retire. That's just it.
yeah,
About the Conte, it was not
mhm,
surprising because we knew what was coming. You know, after
mhm,
the conference and everything. Of
mhm,
course, you were right. Somebody that said he was forcing himself out of that Tottenham. Yes, that was true. We want to leave
mhm.
that club because the way Tottenham play football and the way everything is in that club, a coach that will win
But Phillips,
trophy for
wait. Sorry to cut you
yes,
short, but
uh-huh.
guys, maybe you guys can put me can kind of correct me. Am I wrong to say Tottenham need to look themselves at their hierarchy need to look themselves from Daniel Levy upstairs because you brought in Mourinho, who agreeably for me is a goat when it comes to manager who has won trophies. He didn't succeed. You sack him a fine. You have a final 2 days before the final. You sack him. You brought in Antonio Conte, who is a winner, who knows how to win the league. Conte can't get the best out of Tottenham Hotspur. Same with Mourinho. What does
no, but
that tell
like,
me with Tottenham Hotspur?
but
That's the
maybe
hierarchies.
maybe this is the thing is maybe this is their peak. Maybe this is the best they can do because, like I said, like Tottenham, like it's gonna be hard for them to do better than this because when you're Tottenham, like I said, nobody. If a player, if like when you're picking players in the market, nobody's going to reject Liverpool for. Nobody's going to say I'm going to Tottenham. Nobody ever says, "Oh, my dream is to play for Tottenham." You know what I mean? Nobody says that as a kid. I dream to play for Tottenham. You see players saying, "I dream to play for Chelsea or Liverpool or even Arsenal." Some say Arsenal, United. Even City now. City. Some people say City because of Pep and the history they have now. Nobody says I want to play for Tottenham, so that's why they always get the leftovers. They won't get the really big prospects. That's why you don't see any of these big, guys like Bellingham. Bellingham is not talking about going to Tottenham. He's not linked with Tottenham. All these dudes that are serious players. Osimhen, Tottenham might need a striker when Harry Kane leaves. He's not gonna go to Tottenham. You know, so that's their problem. That's why I think for them, the best thing they have to do is you don't have to hire these coaches like Conte and Mourinho because they need proven players, and you'll never get that in Tottenham because you're just not that big of a club as the other clubs because you'll never attract the top talent. So what you need to do is one, scout well, get players that one you can get for cheap, but can also play like this guy like Napoli did, and also hire a manager that's not hire a manager that's good at developing players and developing talent. But you have to let Harry Kane go first. That's number one step you have to do. You have to take that hard step. You have to rebuild and start over, and do it the right way. That's what they should have. That's what they should have done. They should have stuck with. They shouldn't have fired. They shouldn't have sacked Poch. They should have stuck with Poch, man. He was the kind of manager that's good for what they're trying to do. They should have stuck with him because you saw the players they're getting. They were scouting well. They were getting these guys that were like they weren't expensive, but they were gems. You know what I mean? That's when the score was good because they were getting gems and they're scouting well. But now they're just now all of a sudden they're in the Champions League a couple of seasons and all of a sudden Tottenham now are a huge club. We want to get Conte and Mourinho. That's not your level. You're not that's not your level. Stick to what you're doing. Hire a coach that can scout. Hire a coach that's good at developing players and scout well. That's what Tottenham should be doing. Because I'm telling you, like this things with Conte and Mourinho, this thing with Conte getting fourth, that's the best they can go. They're not gonna get higher than that because and when you're Tottenham, you're not gonna get the quality players that other teams get because you're Tottenham.
Jimmy, that's why I bring on Harry Kane and the player because if you are, he saw when Mourinho came in, Mourinho left. Now Conte came in, who was very good when it comes to winning league title. Antonio Conte is gone. So he has a big, like I said, he has a big decision to make because you can't bring in a manager with the quality of Harry Kane and you tell him, "Don't worry, we'll finish
Let Harry
the
Kane.
spot."
If I'm Tottenham, man, if I'm Tottenham, I'm going to sell Harry Kane because I'm not even gonna. It's not even saying it's not an indictment on Kane, but it's like you have to start over now, bro. Like you're not like that thing is Tottenham have to understand, man. You're not that kind of club. Like you get Champions League a couple of seasons in a row, and all of a sudden you want to be a big. You're not that kind of club. Nobody dreams of playing for Tottenham. Like I said, like what you need to do is you need to scout well. You need to hire a manager that's good. Who is this guy from Sporting you guys like so much? Almiron. That's the kind of manager they need to hire. A guy that can work with young players. Let's scout well. Get some players that are gems, like they're doing on the Poch. That's what they need to do. Not this thing they're trying to. We're a big club now. You want to hire Mourinho. You want to hire Conte. Why? You're not that kind of club. Like you don't. Nobody wants to play like these managers are never going to get the backing they want because nobody's going to pick Tottenham over all these other clubs like Liverpool, Arsenal, United, Chelsea. Nobody's going to say I want to play for Tottenham if those clubs come calling. They're going to get the leftover talent that none of these clubs really want, like Basuma and Richarlison. Like who was really going for those clubs? What big clubs are really going for the players like Basuma and Richarlison? Like that, like Pedro Porro. You know what I mean? Like which big clubs or huge clubs are really going for those guys? Langley, so that's just the thing. Like this guy Kulusevski, he was a steal because Juve was trying to offload him, so they got him as a steal. But those are the kind of guys you need to get steals, gems, and then hire a manager that can be patient and works with young talent, not these coaches. Because when you hire like a Mourinho or Conte, all these dudes, they'll never work because they'll never get backed. Because, like I said, you're Tottenham, and that's just the harsh truth,
Fair enough. Philip, Antonio Conte.
Leave Antonio Conte because I don't just you see after I just left that Inter, I just come and sign for this mediocre team. Sorry if I used that name. Tottenham,
They have a
I don't
difficult team
know.
already, so you don't need to be sorry. They have
So,
a difficult team.
so whatever they are planning in the future, I don't know. Whoever they want to come and win the trophy for them, I don't know. If they are going the manager, because the only opportunity that they have in their life, you already said it. You sacked Jose Mourinho when you were about to play a final in how many days time, and you went to go and play that final like that. So just ask yourself this question. So what's not the need? What are they planning? What's this Tottenham board? Is this cost or what? Because I don't know if how I will have a team and a team that I have. I won't be dreaming of trophy when I know that common Leicester has more trophy than me as a club, and I have players that are record scorers in the Premier League, scoring goals, winning golden boots. You have the life of Son, you have the life of Hurricane. So at least you are better than Leicester when it comes to their first 11 and everything. But the main issue is that these people, they should go and look for coach. The coach that they want to go and look for, and I'm hearing they said this Nagelsman, but let me tell you, that man will not also do anything for them. Let the board, if they are tired, they should hand over this job to other people so the other people will continue, because this club is a problem. Harry Kane is grown enough. He has break a lot of record. Zero trophy. Modric was at that club, 26 years old. He has no trophy. Now he's when he left at 26 years old and joined Madrid, he later won 22 trophy. What does that tell you, Abdullah? Because I don't know, as a team, someone will be in your club for 26 years. You will not win trophy. Now he joined the club. He's not even up to how many years he's winning 20 trophy. So Tottenham trophy are not made for them. They should just be playing the league table, getting their promotion. That's just it. With the Hurricane, he should be the next coach for Tottenham, because that one now so a seed with Tottenham, a seed that he can never withdraw from. So last season, tell us he's leaving that club. I don't know how he end up still playing in Tottenham. So he's still there again, another season. Even if they don't make the top four, I'm still going to let you know Hurricane is not going anywhere. Because I don't know we go and sign Hurricane now. Maybe Manchester United, because Chelsea, my club, is not coming there. We don't want him. We don't want Hurricane. Someone who has spent all his career, his life for one club, is coming to come and do what? To come and use my Chelsea money to come and relax. No, he's old. So if you go, for me to take Hurricane, I better take Ronaldo at this his age, at this his fresh one age that
Mute
is
your mic.
balling down.
Mute your
Huh?
mic. Just mute your mic. Just
I
don't
should mute my mic.
don't go there. Don't go there, please, Biko. Just
No,
stick on the
I'm
topic.
just saying, because me, I will not take Hurricane. First, I can say Chelsea fan base, they don't even like that guy. He forget his scoring. I know that he's a good striker, but you
I
see,
rate Hurricane, but we can't do a business with Daniel Levy. Let's move on, please.
yes, that's what I'm
Please.
saying. We can't. I don't think there is a way that can happen. So she just go to Manchester United if he want to make the decision of his life now, because this will be the last decision for him in this club, as a player. Sorry, because now Antonio Conte is out. Antonio Conte that just won the Serie A, come and join them. These people have hired manager and sack manager. The favorite manager that I've tried for them is Pochettino, which take them to the Champions League final, and they play Liverpool, but the experience was not there. And I think if they leave this Pochettino is there, at least they would have still seen this Carabao Cup or FA Cup. But they tell him to go. So better Pochettino is not handling any job right now. They still have the opportunity to just go and beg him back so that he can come and manage the club, because I think he's the one that understands the club. But I feel
Fair
sorry
enough.
for Tottenham.
Fair enough. Mr. Bullet, Assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing today? Happy Ramadan to you.
Walaikum salam, brother man. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Give me your take on the Antonio Conte Tottenham Hotspur. Are you surprised? Are you shocked? Because me, I'm not surprised. It's typical Conte, so I'm not surprised. And I'm not even shocked.
No, bro, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not even surprised because I think we said this a few weeks back when you guys we spoke about Levy
Mm-hmm.
and I called him a domestic terrorist and everybody didn't. You were laughing at me. Like there seems to be a common denominator when it comes to Tottenham, bro, and this can be seen year in year out. And I think the issue in Tottenham is a power play issue. This is why no matter how great the coach is, if he doesn't have 100% control of his players, there will always be an issue. Especially when you bring, I don't want to use this word and sound like this, the
Go ahead.
common social people, but if you bring like an alpha male in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Mourinho or Conte and so on, and you still don't give them 100% control of the players. Because the reason why I come to this conclusion is when I listened to his press conference, Conte, everything that he was annoyed about regarding the players, if he had control of the team, we all know that he can fix it.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that.
Because when it comes to winning league title, Antonio Conte is the best.
Yes, any issue, think about it, because I'm sure everybody on the panel watched the press conference. Every issue that he brought up regarding the team, Antonio Conte can fix it. But the way he sounded to me was someone that was so frustrated because he never had 100% control. And that could only come from Daniel Levy. Because I think in terms of players, no matter what coach comes in or goes, some players are untouchable in the team. Form or no form. I can't point them out. I don't know who exactly they are. Everybody might say Harry Kane and so on. But it seems as though all the coaches that come in, no matter how much titles they won, no matter how big their name is, it doesn't matter how many accolades they have, it always comes back to the same issue, year in, year out. And it's a power play. If Tottenham, well, Levy have been an owner for quite a while now, quite a long time, right? Look at the template of the teams that are in the top three right now. Arteta, fair enough, he's a coach, but he has 100% control of his players. Pep has 100% control of his players. The Man United guy has 100%. Yeah, Ten Hag has 100% control of his players. And look at the team thriving. If there is any little issue, no matter how big the name is, get the hell out of my club. Case in point, Ronaldo, right? Cancelo, Aubameyang, Pepe, and we can keep going on and on and on. But there seems to be this hump, I would say, in Tottenham, which is Daniel Levy. I think Daniel Levy is the kind of, I don't know him per se. We never seen any documentary apart from the All or Nothing that can point anything out because he concentrated on the players and the coach. But I think Daniel Levy has a say in the players and the team because that's the only way I could understand or make sense of what's going on. Because all these coaches that came in are proven winners. But yet, Tottenham couldn't even win an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup, talk less of the league. And this is why Conte said, if you don't want to fix the problem, I think he didn't want to, like, how do you say this, air their laundry out completely, you know? But he said, if you don't want to fix the issue, then go and bring another coach and then go and deal with the same issue again. Because no matter who comes in from that door, if Levy doesn't, or I would say if he's not ready to take a step back and become an owner, the way an owner is supposed to be, and leave the issues regarding the team and management and players to the professionals, aka the sporting directors or even the coach, then I think Tottenham are not going to get anywhere. So for me personally, I'm not even surprised with this sacking. And whoever comes in, they might be patient for a year or two, right? Just like Pochettino did. Pochettino was very patient. He's not the kind of person who's gonna, you know, have a hissy fit or get angry or outraged.
Mm-hmm.
But even he said, I had enough. He had to leave. Why? Because if you can't control if you don't have 100% control of your team, and you can only deal with little things like formation and substitutions, but you can't discipline certain players that get hefty amounts every week and cannot perform at an optimum level in a team that is supposed to be fighting for top four as a minimum, especially with all the money that he put in with the stadium and the refurbishment and everything that's going on and buying all these so-called players in and out, even though he doesn't spend much, but he still puts money in.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense to me personally. So the sacking was not a surprise for me. And whoever comes next, I think is going to face the same fate because you got domestic terrorists there. So
Yeah, no. Kim Black, brother, Antonio Conte, Tottenham Hotspur. I'm not surprised. Me, I'm not shocked because we've seen Conte as a Chelsea fan. We know the kind of manager he is. He did the same thing in Juventus when he won the Scudetto with them. Same thing with Inter Milan when he won the Scudetto with them. Now he did the same thing with Chelsea in the second season that he had a fight with Marina Ganaskia. Some certain players he wanted, he didn't get. He had a fight. He had a bust up with the owner in Abramovich and Ganaskia. He left. So now he's having the same problem with Tottenham Hotspur, with Daniel Levy and Co. I'm not surprised with Conte because I know the kind of manager Antonio Conte is. But this is me talking as a fan. I'm saying when you look at a manager like Conte and Thomas Tuchel, they are elite manager who, if you don't give them what they want, they have a problem. Tuchel has a problem with Mainz, with the sporting director. He was gone. Dortmund, same thing. So it was gone. Borussia Dortmund, PSG, it was gone. Even in Chelsea, in as much as there was a ownership and everything, it was also gone. So this kind of manager, their reputation is for me. It's like if you want to hire a manager like that, you know their reputation. You don't hire them to a club like Tottenham Hotspur because you know Tottenham is not a winning team, even a winning club who wants to win or dominate for a very long time. When you bring a manager like Conte, Mourinho to a club like Tottenham Hotspur, I am confused. Daniel Levy need to come out and tell us what the heck is going on in that team. I don't know. I don't know. So, King, give me your take, brother. Mr. King Black. Okay, King, go talk. I think it's me. I think he left. So, Vilton, Antonio Conte, Spurs. Are you shocked? Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked.
No, I don't think anybody's surprised. We all knew the sack was coming. I mean, after that press conference, if he just bashed the players, but the fact that he brought the owners, there's no way he was gonna stay. So I'm not surprised. I mean, the assistant coach been doing a good job since when he was out, so I wasn't surprised he was on sack at all. I mean, what he said in that press conference was true, but the only thing I didn't have with that press conference, he didn't take any accountability at all. He just put everybody under the bus, which is factors. I mean, he said a lot of right thing about Tottenham. Tottenham club ever since Daniel Levy was the owner, they just don't win anything. They haven't won like a trophy since what? Since 2008. Like I think that RD Cup,
I think it was in the FA Cup or
yeah,
Carling Cup.
Carabao Cup, yeah, the Carabao
Yeah,
Cup.
Carling Cup,
Even that trophy, I don't really as highly. Still a trophy, but I mean, it's just a trophy you win. I guess you say you didn't go see trophyless, but yeah, I mean, it just like this club is just like it just turns you into losers, bro. Like
It's a
it just
mess.
does,
It's a
bro.
mess.
Because Gareth Bale was there. He leaves, comes to Madrid the next season, wins the Champions in the Copa
Look
del
at Modric.
Modric leave, same thing. Conte just won Serie A, goes there, doesn't win anything.
Just
Mourinho
Mourinho.
Mourinho was winning trophies, goes to them, don't win anything, and he goes to Roma, helped them win their first trophy since like, God how long? Where I don't remember the last time Roma won a trophy, but he helped them win the Conference League. Like they're just allergic to trophies, man. Like look at this, bro. Remember when Gareth Bale was on loan when we sent him back to Tottenham for that few
Mm-hmm.
season? He was trophyless. Then he comes back to Madrid, wins the Champions League, in the La Liga the following back season after his loan spell. Christian Eriksen and the other guy who left, man. Christian Eriksen just already won the Carabao Cup, man, after leaving Tottenham. Tottenham is just cancer, bro.
No, you
Like,
won the Scudetto with Inter Milan though when
yeah,
you left
bro.
Tottenham Hotspur.
They just say I don't know, bro. They just say I don't get it, man. I never see something like that. I mean, because the thing about Tottenham, right? They want to be a big club, right? They want to show how big they are. They're a big club in England for sure, but they have one of the best stadiums in the world, in my opinion. Like I've seen like I don't know if you guys watch on the documentary.
Yeah, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is
Yeah,
very.
bro, that stadium is that facility is nice, bro. Like for a team to be making the stadium like that, bro, you gotta be winning trophies, bro. Like you gotta be winning trophies. You can't just have a nice stadium and not be winning stuff. So the culture of the club needs to change, and the way the culture needs to change. Not bringing a new coach in because you bring a new coach in. You could bring Pep into this team. They're not gonna win trophy. It has to start from the bottom, from the top. I mean, does Levy want to win, or does he just care about it being a business? That's the thing. There's a reason why United fan are so happy the Glazers are gonna leave the club. Because if your owners don't care about winning trophies or investing into the team or back the manager up, to be fair, Conte was backed a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's just something at this club, bro. Like I don't know, but I'm not surprised he got sacked, man. It is what it is. I guarantee you, he's gonna maybe back go to Syria. He's gonna get a new job and he's gonna start winning trophies again, bro. But with Tottenham, I mean, we saw what they did with Mourinho. Mourinho helped them get to the Carabao Cup final, and he got sacked like the day, like a day or 2 days before the final. And I think their backup guy was in it. Ryan Mason was it? Was his name or whatever? I don't
Yeah,
remember
right,
his name.
Mason. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the DNA of the Tottenham, like Chiellini would say. But I'm not surprised at all. I mean, hey, at least Conte is available now for any club that want to get his service. And Harry Kane, man, you gotta leave this summer, bro. Don't listen to Levy. Don't listen to anything he gotta say. If there's an offer that goes to United, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Bayern, any big team, bro, that ambitious to win trophies, you gotta leave, man. I know it's your boyhood club, but you gotta leave, man. You gotta leave Tottenham. Even you too, son. There's so many quality player they have too. That's a crazy part. Kuluvetsky is a good player. You Son, Harry Kane, like all these players, man, wasting their talent at Tottenham, man. It's honestly sad, man.
Yeah, Tom, Antonio Conte, Tottenham Hotspur. I am a Chelsea fan. I've seen this man sabotage your take us to court when it comes to he doesn't get the player he wanted. Same thing happened in Juventus when he won the Scudetto, he left. Chelsea, same thing, he left. Inter Milan won the Scudetto, he left. And this is my question to Daniel Levy. You brought in Jose Mourinho and you brought in Conte. Those are serial winners. So when you're bringing a winner into the club, you have to guarantee them money backing season after season. If you cannot guarantee them season after season, you're gonna let them go. This is my question now. Levy needs to come out and tell us what is the ambition of the club. I don't know. I'm not me right now. I can't say because I don't know because the way I'm looking at it is like a business to me. It doesn't look like an ambition owner who wants to win. You brought in Mourinho, who is a winner. You sack him a day before the final. You brought in Conte, who we know very well when it comes to league title. This man is a merchant in winning title. You let him go. I'm confused. I don't know. I don't know. So give me your take on Conte.
Yeah, look, I think everybody will probably agree on the facts of that. When he made the comments that he made, it was inevitable he was going to be sacked at the end of the day. And let's not paint over it. He was basically begging for the paycheck to get out of there at the end of the day, and he's got what he wanted. He went back. You could tell something was in the motion anyway because he didn't even stay in London to do the training, whether it be with the players who don't go on international duty or just some of the youngsters that are at the training ground. Like he didn't even stay to do that. He left that to Stellini and to Ryan Mason to do just that on its own, and he went back to Italy. And I do think we have to implement maybe some of the personal things that's happened in his life. Obviously, he's had the gallbladder surgery. He's lost a couple of people as well, friends and family, through the whole season. So he's not exactly had a brilliant time of it in terms of his own personal life. But, I mean, even in terms of the club with Spurs, like, let's be real. Even with Poch, like the one thing that they could say ever since with Poch is Tottenham are just boring to watch. Let's be real. Like I don't think anybody finds the football that they played entertaining. They've hired pretty much most of the managers that you could do. You hired somebody who had proven to, push a team up as far as he could at Wolves in Nuno Espirito Santos. You sacked him after 5 months. You bring in Jose Mourinho mid-season. You give him a little bit of investment, this, that, the other. He gets some of the players that he wants in, gets you to, your first final in God knows how long, and you sack him 2 days before it. Like, random. Absolutely random. And the guy, we know Jose's in that sort of period at that time anyway. He had that rivalry with Pep when they went and played the final with City. So there could have been something in that there for Spurs. They didn't decide to go for it. They brought in Ryan Mason, who I don't even think he had a coaching qualification at the time, did he? I can't remember him having one anyway. He brought him in. Yeah, he managed to steady the ship till the end of the season. They then had that whole summer where they wanted Conte, and they weren't prepared to give him his staff that he wanted. So he said, "No, I'm not accepting the job." Then they went through God knows how many managers that they interviewed and they shortlisted. It went from Gattuso to Valverde to Nuno to all the different options. And anyway, they ended up on Nuno, didn't they? Sacked him mid-season, Mourinho, and now you're at Conte. And look, you brought in Conte in the middle of the season at the time that you did. He got top 4, but if we're being real, he got top 4 because Arsenal bottled it. That's the reason why he got top 4. He didn't really mastermind much at Tottenham, if we're being real. Like, you get knocked out in, your cup competition, say, this season by Nottingham Forest, who a lot of people at the time in that sort of period of the season were saying that they were going to get relegated, and you got beat by Sheffield United in the Championship, albeit they're near the top table of it. Like, at the end of the day, it's underperforming from a coach who's a proven winner. And look, I look at it from the perspective of he's had a lot of money to spend in this market, and I don't think a lot of people can discredit that because he's brought in a lot of the players that he wanted initially. You got in players like Kulusevski, you got in players like Bentancur, you got him, in such as Pedro Porro and those kind of players that he wanted. You brought them in for him. So he has got some of the players of what he wanted and what he wanted in that time. But the thing that I didn't particularly the thing I always look at with Spurs is with Daniel Levy, and it is with the ownership, because the only thing that attracts people to that football club is the stadium and the training facilities, because they are the most modern stadium and training facilities probably in all of Europe, because they're the newest. That's the only thing that attracts players, coaches, fans, whatever. That is the only thing. And as soon as you take that away from Spurs, what do they actually have? Nothing, really. They don't have a winning team. They don't have, a track record of major trophies, of, competing at the highest level. Like, they just don't have it. Like, they was in a 2-horse title race, and they ended up finishing 3rd. Like, in that season with you guys, and Leicester went on to win it in that miraculous season. And, at the end of the day, where does Spurs go from here? I mean, I'm hearing things anyway that they're going to do the same process that Man United did, where they're going to host interviews with different candidates and select upon who they think's the best suited for the role, and then offer them the job, and if they want it or whatnot. And I look at that and I think, well, it's basically a plan of you don't really know what you're doing. And in the same way with Conte, they've sacked him, and you're saying that you're going to be, Christian Stellini and Ryan Mason are going to take the team for the rest of the season. Like, you're basically writing the season off. Let's be real. Like, you're basically appointing his assistant and an interim coach you've had before in Ryan Mason, and you've still got the top 4 to play for it, at least at the end of the day. Like, there is coaches out there that you could go and get. Like, if you'd have pulled the trigger maybe a couple of days sooner, you might have got Thomas Tuchel. Julian Nagelsman's obviously an option there now. Ultimately there is some big options. Poch is still out of work if you want to go down that back avenue, but in my opinion on it all is, I always say I don't like managers who go back to football clubs because it doesn't always end well. There's none of this fairy tale romance and this that the other with one club. Like at the end of the day, Poch came in, he built a team, he was successful in terms of progression, but he never won anything. He left there with nothing, and he's coming back. And what has he really got to work with? He's just got to work with this basically the same squad that he left, barring a couple more players in that team. But ultimately, the one thing that's always been the problem has always been the ownership and the management of that. And ultimately, a lot of these players are still here who have been so underperforming under so many different managers. Like, you take the likes of Eric Dyer, you take the likes of Davinson Sanchez. These guys should have been shipped out, 3 years ago when they were underperforming. And at the end of the day, you look at such as Harry Kane and stuff, and I do believe a bit of sympathy should be given to him, but also, in hindsight, nobody forced him to sign a 6-year contract at Spurs.
Yeah.
And if he stays on now, he signs away any right he should ever have to be ambitious, whether it be as an international player or as just a club player at Spurs. Because Spurs is not going to win anything in the next 2 to 3 years because they need to rebuild. And when you're in a rebuilding stage, it's very rare you win. It is very rare when you win anything, is in terms of a trophy. But overall, Spurs' ambition, I would personally go and get an up-and-coming manager. Don't go for something that you've already had. At the end of the day, you want something new, you want something fresh. Pochettino, he ain't going to do anything different to what he did before. He ain't going to win you a trophy. He didn't win it before when he had a young, hungry, aggressive, amazing squad at that time, and probably one of the Spurs' best teams that they ever had at that time. If he couldn't win anything with that team, how is he going to win something with this? Barring maybe adding a couple more players, like nothing's going to change at the end of the day. Go for something that's up and coming and something new. And if I had to stick my neck out and I had to say somebody who I would personally look at if I was in Daniel Levy's shoes, you look at someone like a De Zerbi at Brighton. Like, I don't think he's been sacked anywhere, has he? That's one thing that I always go off of managers. Go off of somebody who's got a record of success in terms of they've left the club in good hands, or they've moved on to pastures new, and they've not exactly like got failure on the record, or they've got an X next to it. Like, you look at Conte, he's been sacked from so many jobs. Mourinho's sacked from so many jobs. Like, at the end of the day, it's inevitable these guys aren't going to stay long term. And ultimately, you have the chance now to go and get somebody who can take your club forward for the next 3-4 years. But they're going to need time and they're going to need investment. And that's why I look at someone like a De Zerbi, potentially a Nagelsman, because I don't think he had a fair crack of the whip at Bayern, and I don't think the club and the atmosphere suited him there. But ultimately, these managers are progressive managers. They're managers who they don't mind staying around 2 to 3 years if you're going to invest in their plans and what they want to do. And ultimately, like people have already said in the stream, when a manager at your football club has control to do anything that he wants, whether it be gets rid of a player, exiles them, terminates the contract, do whatever, when you give a manager that sort of power, that's when you know that your football club is on the up. Because ultimately, the manager will be in control of everything. And suddenly, them players in that dressing room know, oh shit, right, it's on now. We've got to get it sorted and we've got to get rid of it. But ultimately, Conte's gone. They've already said they're going to see it out till the end of the season. Ultimately, you go into that summer window, and I think you've got to pay for what you get nowadays with a manager, and you need somebody who's successful. And with all the managers that are out there, all of them have been sacked. The main sort of candidates or the main sort of ones, like Poch and Nagelsmann, are probably going to be the ones that are going to be in the papers every day.
But Tom, before I go to
media,
the guy, because this is my issue now with it now. We need to know Daniel Levy's plan. Is he an ambitious manager or is he for business? Because
no. Well, that's the thing. The only ambitious coach he's ever appointed since he bought shares in the club was Poch, and he stuck out with him for 5 years and he won nothing. So at the end of the day, he's been down this road before. But the one thing Spurs fans could always say was, well, at least we enjoyed the football. At least we enjoyed what we were seeing. Like, and ultimately, an era comes to an end at some point in time at a football club. And a lot of those players that are there now, Harry Kane and Son, and like we've seen the best of these players. They ain't going to get any better from what we've seen. They've hit the level at the end of the day. Daniel Levy has hit his ceiling in terms of the managers appointed. So ultimately, you need to pray and probably, I don't know, go to, the mosque, the church, wherever you want to go. You need to pray to some God in some, capacity that you're going to get in the top four and you're going to have a manager who can progressively build a team with players who are going to want that Champions League qualification. Because if you ain't got it, it's going to be an uphill struggle to get it back from all the other teams that are progressing, that's invested in. But ultimately, you need a manager who is on the progressive and on the up. And the managers that are on the up, like you say, when Potter was at Brighton, he was on the up. He didn't really have any, failures anywhere. And he's been given that shot at Chelsea, albeit it's not been, all flowers and roses at the end of the day. But he's getting there. He's making time and he's biding his time. De Zerbi, for example, come from a nobody league and took that role, and Brighton, superb team, recruitment, etc. Manager has full control over that club. Exiled the best player in Leandro Trossard, it's not stopped them. So ultimately, they need to go for a manager who is progressive and, if you like, is on the up. You don't need somebody who's had a failure along the way. Go for somebody who's had at least a glimmer of a success, even if it's an amateur club, like even a Thomas Frank or something like that, like a club where they've actually been embedded in that culture of that football club, and they need somebody who's going to come in and set that culture. And these managers, yes, they've done it at Brentford, they've done it at Brighton, they've done it at all these other, we'll say it's smaller clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, you go to Spurs, this is where they need to set and they need to start. You need to start from somewhere at the end of the day. Rome wasn't built in a day, ultimately. And Tottenham ain't going to be built overnight. So, at the end of the day, you need to refresh. You need to refresh the squad, the manager. Paratici, even as a sporting director, I think he's suspended from operating, isn't he? Like, you need a new sporting director. You need a complete reset and reshuffle from all around and go again at the end of the day. But go and invest in a new manager.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Demand them, Nana. As a Chelsea fan, we've seen this before with Conte. So I'm not surprised, I'm not shocked, brother. But Antonio Conte, Tottenham must for sack. Finally, is done.
Yes, boss. I hope everyone's well on the panel. Shout out the panel.
We good. Like the bit, guys. Smash the like button.
Yeah.
Right, brother.
Shout out the people watching, the viewers. Listen. What can I say, man? I mean, Conte, like, he was sabotaging my club personally, so I know what he's like. He's successful. I'm not saying he's not a top coach, because he is a top coach. But I don't get this. Forgive me, I don't get this thing about Daniel Levy, because it's not like Tottenham haven't spent money. These guys have spent money. They just spent it poorly. Like, they've just really spent it poorly. I think both coaches have been backed. Mourinho, Conte. I don't think necessarily they've got the players they wanted all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Players like Jed Spence. It's crystal clear that Conte didn't want the guy. The guy's on loan at Rennes. So I mean, it's just incompetency in terms of the recruitment, in my opinion. But everyone's focused on Daniel Levy. In my opinion, Conte needs to take some accountability, because the way he's coached, yes, they are in a chance with our top four, but the way he's coached this season, in terms of their cup competitions and even in the Premier League, has been poor. So he has to get some accountability as well. I mean, it's a mess in terms of the recruitment. It's a mess, in my opinion. If I've said it for the past couple of streams, Tottenham need to go back to the Harry Redknapp roots, and so guys like Thomas Frank or someone. No disrespect to Thomas Frank, I think he's a good coach, but guys of that ilk, because these guys getting winners like Mourinho and Conte is cutting. I don't know that English saying, cutting your toes to spite your face or something like that. Like, they've messed their club up in the long term now. With these appointments, they've completely messed up their club. You've got a bunch of players essentially now that no real team wants to buy, apart from outside of Harry Kane maybe, and Son to a degree, although he's declining. So yeah, I mean it's just a mess, to be honest with you. I feel bad for actually I don't feel bad for Kane because he signed a contract, but if he stays there, it tells me everything I need to know. Um, so yeah, I mean it's just a
Yeah,
mess. Eric Dye, I could go through the list of the whole team, but
a
some
lot of
players should have
mess.
left a while ago. You understand? So it's tough for them. I say go for Thomas Frank from a Spurs fan. Invest wisely. Actually go out there and invest properly. Like actually scout players and invest properly. Um, and then we see where they go, man. But it's a mess. It's a mess. And for Conte now, we're gonna have a serious discussion about Conte. I'm sorry.
It is
Um,
unacceptable. You're always looking
yeah,
for
it's a lack
alibi.
of. Uh,
Alibi.
it's
These
just a
players
lack
are
of
professional
professionalism.
players.
It's just a lack of is a lack of is a yo, this guy Conte.
It is unacceptable.
I've seen this at my club. I saw my players have to suffer through this guy. I don't want to make this about certain players that I hold to high regard, but I had to see this guy suffer with this fool. You understand? I had to see this guy literally sabotage my team. I know he beat United and Mourinho in the FA Cup, but he was literally sabotaging the thing. So, just it's unfortunate. I want to talk about the England Ukraine game, but that's another time. Yeah, man, it's just what can I say? I'm like, no one's shocked, really. Everyone knew it was going to be a short term, but they failed, man. They failed. Um, and if they get Poch back again, it tells me everything I need to know about Poch as a coach too. If he goes back there, if he goes back,
Fair
if
enough.
that guy goes back there, it confirms to me that what I already know, that he's a generational loser. I hope he doesn't do that. I hope he goes somewhere else and coaches a good, has the chance to coach properly a good team, because I was one of the biggest Pochettino guys, but nah, man, you just go for Thomas Frank. I'd lie. I'm saying Thomas Frank. I'm saying that's the perfect guy for Tottenham Hotspur. That's just me.
Fair enough. Eddie, Antonio Conte, Tottenham Hotspur. Go ahead, brother.
Look, we saw this coming. We saw this coming, so let's not act like this is this came out of nowhere, especially after that interview, even from when it was hired. Everyone knows how this was gonna end. It's just similar to the Mourinho situation, where was he gonna win them a trophy or not? So I ain't gonna drag this too much, man. This is what Conte does. This is who Tottenham are. I don't get the whole thing about people saying Posh shouldn't go back. Can someone tell me who else is standing in line to hire Poch? Or did I miss something? Because it sounds like the perfect marriage for Tottenham. You either get a young up and coming manager, or you go back and get Poch. Is it gonna work? I don't know. But if it worked last time, you might as well roll the dice on that again. Because I'm sorry, there's no one lining up to give Poch a job, and Poch has been out of a job for how long? Since the PSG job. So it just sounds like, look, get Poch or get one of these young up and coming managers. Just don't get Nagelsmann. Thank you very much.
Fair enough. I get you. Because Eddie, we suffered this in Antonio Conte in Chelsea. We know how he coached. Juventus, Inter Milan, Chelsea. Well, I'm not surprised when it just happened like Conte. But my question is, Daniel Levy knows this. You brought in Mourinho. You sacked him a day before the final. And you brought in a serial winner who has a track record of winning the league. And I'm confused. I am so confused right now.
And that's one thing I want to check. Why are people talking as if Conte wasn't backed?
Thank you.
Of all
Thank you.
Of all
Thank you.
managers, Conte. So yes, okay, you can talk about the fact that Daniel Levy and Tottenham are a losing club, but don't talk about manager backing when it comes to Conte. Conte was backed.
He was back. Yeah, it was.
Look at the players he signed. That's what he does. Who the hell signs Perisic to a 3-year deal
That's
at
Conte.
34, almost retired? Signed Bissouma. Look how much he spent last summer. Come on, man. He was backed. He just doesn't want to take accountability for what's happened, or there
Thank
might
you
be
very much.
politics going in the club that we don't know. Maybe there's politics. Okay, cool. If there's politics, that's different. But based on what we see, Conte, you had the tools, you didn't get it done. Simple. Get the hell out.
Fair enough.
Sorry, one more. Abdullah, who authorized that? Someone needs to tell me who authorized that Richarlison signing. Who authorized that signing, please? Somebody needs to tell me.
It should be Conte. That should be Conte.
They said Christian Slaneni will take over the job till the end of the season. That's what Fabrizio just posted now. So let's see.
Mr. K, Antonio Conte, Tottenham Hotspur. Oga K, Martin.
Yeah, Abdullah. I mean, we all saw this coming, to be fair, so we are not surprised. I just feel like, as a winner, a winner should not be going to Tottenham. That was his fault in the first instance. He wants to win trophy. You want to compete. You shouldn't be going to a club like Tottenham, regardless of how beautiful their stadium looks like or how beautiful their training facility is. No, you don't go to Tottenham if you're trying to win. That club, they probably have some African voodoo on them that they are not going to win shit. So, I mean, that being said, we know Tottenham are probably not going to win anything for a while. So they are trying to, like, what's it called? They are a project team. Let's spend money on some young players. So, and hopefully those players grows that they can sell them for a bigger margin. So other than that, I don't think. I mean, we all saw this coming. We know Conte won't be there for a long time. But if you're trying to win something and you see the club is not going in the right direction, you just got to get out of there. So, I mean, you can see Potter. Potter is really content with the way things are going at Chelsea. Some coaches are like, nah, this is not what I want for myself. This is not what I want for my career. This is not the route I'm trying to go. So it's like, hey, I'm out.
I'm not content though.
So I mean, Potter is really happy with what's going on.
I'm not happy, but I don't want to.
Potter is. So we are not contented, but
I'm
Potter,
not happy.
it looks like Potter is really happy with the way things are going. So some
I'm
coaches
fasting.
are like,
I don't
you know
want
what,
to talk too much.
I'm out of here. Like the project is not working. It doesn't look. It's not a marriage made in heaven. So he said mutual consent. So that's good. That's what we're expecting with Potter too. If he knows.
Hopefully very soon. That is my Ramadan gift.
Never happening.
Ramadan prayers.
Never happening.
Silent prayers. Inshallah. God
pray for your health, Abdullah. Pray for your health.
I already pray for my health already. My absolute gift in Ramadan is mutual consent. A reporter has been sacked. Oh my God, that will be the happiest moment of my life. I have suffered a lot.
I bet you any money. Potter's ringtone is nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So it's okay now.
If something can't stop him, something will also break him down. Because it's so you show up with no anger in the sky. With what goes up.
Abdullah, can I also add like what Tottenham wanted to do? They wanted to sign all these young players like Spence. This young right back to Sessignon was his name, Ryan Sessignon, whatever he is. Antonio Conte doesn't want that. He just want to win. He wants to sign a bunch of 32-year-olds, 33.
And that is my problem
on 2-year contract. So it's not the right man for the fit. And same thing goes with Potter. Like we want to sign all these young players. Potter is not the man to grow all these guys. I'm sorry, he barely knows the correct positioning for himself. Sorry, like.
Wait. Time out. No. 1 minute. No. Sorry.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
1 minute. So you guys, I'm assuming you guys watched that England-Ukraine game.
Okay. What happened?
You saw the way. No disrespect. You saw the way Mudryk was playing. Do you think Potter's being dumb by not starting this guy?
Another manager will play. Mikhail Mudryk will play better. Let's move on, please.
Okay.
But let's move on. Now I want to talk about something else now. Now let's talk. I'm gonna come to Chimere on this because we had a discussion in the backseat before we go live. I'm here. Fabrizio tweeted it yesterday and he tweeted it this morning. So I'm like, Fabrizio, just relax. Mr. Man, relax, calm down. And he said it. Keep an eye on Nagelsmann to Chelsea. Vivel and Nagelsmann had a very good have a very good relationship in RB Leipzig. And the Red Bull Arena project that Bole that he wanted to build, Nagelsmann was there when Viverto was the technical director there. So they have a very good relationship. And he said, remember, Christopher Okonkwo is coming in the summer, who has already worked with Nagelsmann already. So that could be something you have to keep an eye on. So Chimere,
That's the reason why all this see Dana goes abeg. See, it's better they don't ship that Christopher Wever and ship the both of them to one place. So because
relax.
me, I don't want to repeat any all this upcoming manager. So see the vet me.
Let's talk. Chimere, Nagelsmann to replace Harry Potter.
I mean, I'm gonna agree with you, man. I don't know if Nagelsmann will coach next year because, like, Bayern was his dream job. You know what I mean? Like that was the job he was looking at since he started coaching. That was the job he was trying to get to. You know, Bayern was his ultimate destination, and he got there. And I think when you know what I'm saying, like when you get sacked by your dream job, especially the way that it happened, because it came out of the blue. You know, they're telling you one day that the same week that you're here to stay, you're the future of the club, and then the next day they sack you. You know, that's what you did. That's like a blindside. You know, he's gonna need some time to recover from this. So I don't know if he's just gonna jump back into coaching. But as far as Chelsea, like I don't know how people be hesitant about hiring him because you look at his track record, man. What he did at Hoffenheim, what he did at Leipzig. He's
Like
shown that he
the
can develop young players. He can
and
coach them to
Vivel
attack.
also worked with him before he left RB Leipzig because they have a very good close relationship together with each other. So that could also
Yeah,
be an help also too.
because everybody would say like, yeah, he's not a proven winner. But I'm gonna ask like, before Tuchel joined Chelsea, he wasn't a proven winner. He won nothing, you know, but he was a good coach still. Like, but you look at Nagelsmann this year and all the big games they played against Inter, against Barca, against PSG, they beat them. What is it like? What 17-0 in aggregate? When you look at all
Yep.
games combined, in all the big games, he's been tactically astute. Even
He's
they
never
beat
lost a
Dortmund.
match. Yeah, he's only manager in what in top five European league who has a zero loss in the Champions League.
And he hasn't, and he didn't allow goals to any of these teams. Like you look at Barca, like everybody would say, "Oh, Bayern on Barca," but the same Barca will play teams like they'll beat Real Madrid, home and away. But Bayern they'll lose to them 5-0 aggregate in 2 matches. That's coaching. Do you play PSG, a team with Mbappe and Neymar? Everybody would say, "Oh, PSG is trash, trash." But before the tie, everybody would say that's a 50-50 tie. That's what everybody was saying. Now it's all PSG were horrible. But coming to that tie, people were saying it's 50-50. Bayern beat them 3-0 aggregate. Didn't allow a goal to a team led by the team with Mbappe and Messi in it over 90 minutes. That's coaching. Do you played Inter, the same Inter that is in the semifinals in the quarterfinal of Champions League, second in Serie A, even gave Barcelona a tough time away and at home in their own building. They beat them what was it 4-0 aggregate and didn't allow a goal. I mean that's coaching. You can't be a crap coach and be playing these teams and just shutting them out, but while also scoring goals. Like it doesn't work like that, you know. So like you look at his track record at Hoffenheim. He got Leipzig to a semifinal. He beats Mourinho en route to that. He beats Simeone en route to that. He lost to a good PSG team, with Thomas Tuchel. There's no shame in that, you know. So the guy has shown in every step he's been, he's a good coach. Even last year, like I know lost to Villarreal was bad, but that's football. I mean, every coach has a bad loss in their resume. But he's shown me, even what I've seen, he's a good coach. This year they scored 112 goals in all competitions. They've only lost 3 matches. The
And he
Champions
has
League,
71% winning rate.
yeah, they've been the best team in the Champions League this year, no doubt. It's not even close to me. So it's like, I don't know all this. We don't want Nagelsmann because he's not a proven winner. Well, Tuchel wasn't a proven winner when he got hired by Chelsea. I mean, this guy hasn't had a chance. He coached one season with Bayern, and then they sack him before a quarterfinal. A quarterfinal he helped get them to. That's not fair to him. He hasn't gotten a chance to prove he's a winner yet. So I think for him, man, he's a clear. There's no question he's a better coach than Potter based on his track record. This guy got Hoffenheim to be playing good football and got them to the Champions League. You know, Hoffenheim, you know, like it was having Hoffenheim competing against Bayern and beating them sometimes. You know, Leipzig. You look at Leipzig. Leipzig was playing great football under him. You know, so from what
Yo,
I've seen,
Chimmer,
guys
I have a question for you. You said Bayern Munich are the best team in the Champions League.
yeah,
Can you elaborate on why they are?
bro. Look at the bro. They haven't lost a match this season in the Champions League. They won all their matches.
I think Manchester City hasn't lost a game either, too, right?
And
Yes, they,
they only conceded one goal against Victoria Pilsen.
yeah, one
No, they
goal.
conceded 2 goals.
But look,
City hasn't lost. City hasn't lost any games too. City only conceded 2 goals, just like Bayern.
but
They
look at
both
who
have the
City
best
played compared to
defense.
Bayern, bro.
No, you have to compare each other
Bro,
teams. Who have
they
played.
played Barca Inter. They beat them.
Inter are
Look at the
trash
action
this
of both
season. Let's
games.
keep it real. Inter are trash.
Me too.
Oh
Man
Relax.
my
City
god.
was in the group with Dortmund.
Stop,
Man City
stop,
was in the
Yeah,
stop,
but
stop.
Wilton,
Victor, don't do this. Victor, don't
they're
do this.
bigger than the teams that Man City played, bro. Even if they're trash.
the bigger, but Inter are trash. Inter are not better than Dortmund, are they?
I mean, they're about the
Yeah,
same.
stop.
To be real with you, bro.
No. I'm just saying though because people say
Chelsea
Okay,
did
Bayern
not
have
play
the.
Dortmund.
okay. So it's
Chelsea
no,
played
it's
Dortmund.
When I'm
it's
looking
Barca
at
Man City
it,
City.
didn't play Dortmund.
you guys do know Man City and Bayern, right? They both have conceded the same amount of goals in the Champions, League, 2 goals.
Yeah,
And
but bro, they
one
haven't
was
played the
against
same
Leipzig in the
competition.
first, and one was against Sevilla, I think. So
Sevilla,
they
bro.
both been
You
doing
compare
well.
Sevilla to
Yeah,
playing with Barca?
no, 1 second, Chimera. But that is the point, Wilton. We are comparing Pep Guardiola to an upcoming coach. So for him to have even the same record, that is credit to his coaching.
No,
And
there's
City
no doubt.
drew to Copenhagen. They drew to Copenhagen. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but
Yeah.
they didn't
So
lose any games, so did they?
yeah, but no, Bayern won every game. That's the
Bayern
point.
won 8 for 8,
Oh, okay,
man. They
okay.
went
No,
8
no,
for
no, no.
8.
Okay. No, I just thought you because I was hearing like they only conceded 2 goals. I'm like City only conceded 2 goals too.
Oh,
I was
this
saying
guy.
Bayern. That's
This
why I said
guy.
No,
Bayern
they
are the
didn't
best.
even draw. There was no draws.
Yeah, that's
No,
why I'm
but
saying
Bayern did
Bayern
the
are the
same
best
thing
team in
last
the
season
CL.
too. Then they last season they did the same thing. They were fantastic in the group stage.
Yeah, but
I
the
think they
coach was
won.
Nagelsmann as well. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
and they lost to Villarreal.
Yeah, but bro, they played PSG this year and they beat them 3-0. So based off of the trend we were seeing, based off the tracker we're seeing in CL, most people were saying that they're amongst the favorites. Like
No,
you know
of course they are. Of course
what I'm
they are.
saying, so
But I'm just
if
saying
they
though.
no, I'm saying, would you if with Nagelsmann, do you think they could have beaten City? Who would you have picked to win that tie? Like, what's your gut feeling?
No, me, I always bet against Manchester City. I told you they're a club to me. They
No,
have no spine in European competition. So I've always picked Bayern to win, and no matter who they had at their coach, like no matter who was their coach, I'm always gonna bet against City because I'm sorry they have no spine. How could I put my trust in a club that has no spine?
but all I'm saying is like I don't get. All I'm saying is like because I keep hearing everybody say Nagelsmann is improving all that. All I'm saying is he hasn't gotten a chance. Like he hasn't gotten the chance yet. Like Tuchel was improving went on to coach Chelsea, and then he earned that elite tag by winning the CL. This guy hasn't had a chance yet.
He
You know?
did. He lost to Unai Emery, bro.
Yeah, bro, that's
Unai
one
Emery is a top.
season, bro.
Victor,
That's
stop.
one
Unai Emery
season.
is a top manager.
I-
Stop, stop,
If they
He's
stop,
a
would have
top
no,
manager
I'd
at
be like,
Aston
bro,
Villa.
they shouldn't be losing to Bayern
stop.
Munich. Shouldn't be losing
Unai
to
Emery won the
Villarreal.
Europa League 3 times in
They
a row.
shouldn't
He
be
said,
losing
"Nah,
to
stop."
Villarreal at home
But
in the Champions League.
that's his first
See,
season, man.
if they would have
That's
lost
his
to
first season.
Liverpool, no, honestly, though, Chimmy, if they would have lost to a big team like Liverpool, City, or Madrid, Chelsea, PSG, if they would have lost to because of the talent Lucy map, people would have been like, okay,
United.
it happened.
No, for
But
Vilton,
they
let me
lost
ask you,
to
Vilton,
Villarreal, bro. They lost to
Marino's lost
Unai
to
Emery,
Sevilla.
bro.
Marino's lost to
Huh?
Sevilla in the CL, bro. Is he a bum coach? No, that's
Who?
football, bro.
Mourinho lost to
Who?
Sevilla too. Remember that too.
No, we're talking
So
about Nagelsmann. I'm talking about
What I'm
Bayern.
saying
Bayern's a
is like, bro,
ruthless
you
club,
can't
bro.
you're using
he
one result
happens
to
in
knock
football.
it, bro.
Victor,
That's
he happens
football.
in football.
But that
I
one
don't have
result was
understand.
very bad, bro. Very bad.
But Vilton, the point I'm making to you, bro, is if people had Bayern as the Champions League favorites with him, that shows you the level of faith they have in him as a
No, but
coach.
Bayern are favorites every single season, though. They're
No,
always
they're
one of the
not, bro.
favorites.
That's a lie.
Yes, they are. Yes, they
No,
are.
that's
They're
a
always
lie.
one
Man
of the
City,
favorites.
Man City are
It's
always
Man
favorites.
Yes, they
Say
City,
that.
are.
Man
bro.
City are always. It's man. No,
No,
it's Man
Bayern are
City.
always one of the favorites. I'm not saying they're the number one favorite, but they're always one of the favorites. Madrid, Bayern, City because of Pep tax. They're always one of the favorites to
Let
win the
let
Champions League.
finish up.
No, but like I'm saying, like there's a reason Bayern, like most of the Bayern fans I've been talking. There's a reason why they're upset when Nagelsmann getting sacked, bro. Because like they didn't see a reason for him to be sacked. Like I don't see a reason for
No,
him to be
no, no.
sacked,
I know a lot of Bayern fans that are happy this guy got sacked, bro.
bro.
I was
What like,
literally listening to the stream. I was
bro? I
Bayern
mean,
fans. If you just go look at his stream, bro, they were all throwing a party. They were all happy that Nagelsmann got sacked, bro. They
yeah, I don't.
were mad the way it happened, but they were like, Yeah, let's just get Tuchel in, bro.
I mean,
Because they say that the performance in the league hasn't been that good. That's what I've been hearing from Bayern fans. They say in the Champions League is fine, but they say the performance throughout this entire league campaign hasn't been that good. That's what I'm hearing
I'm
from
saying,
Bayern
but bro,
fans.
why sack him in March? That makes no sense. You could have sacked
No,
him in
because they're
January for
afraid they
what
might
good.
lose the league title.
No, bro, that's not why. That's just PR, bro. The reason why they've been wanting Tuchel for a long time. Tuchel's the guy they want. So they saw that Tuchel was available. They didn't want to lose him, and they just pulled the trigger. All that stuff is PR. Oh, we want to lose the league. All that. No, like they were just saying this week that Nagelsmann is here to stay. Nagelsmann is a guy for the future. Just this week, same week they sacked him.
Mhm.
Bro, they wanted that guy. Tuchel was that guy. Just that's who they wanted. It's
And
not.
they've
I don't.
wanted Tuchel in 2020 though.
Huh?
So they've wanted him since 2020. I can understand. I get that. So Ogaguled, Julian Nagelsmann potentially might replace Harry Potter. That's what Papocho today, yesterday and this morning. That keep an eye on him.
Wait,
He's not
Chelsea
gonna
fan,
be
y'all want Potter
surprised.
out? Wait, y'all want
I
Potter
want
to
I want
leave?
him gone since last year. So I don't want to talk too
Wait,
much.
but Abdullah, you have Chelsea winning the Champions League, don't
Of
you?
course, I want him gone. In as much as Di Matteo won the Champions League. So
No,
we
but
have
I'm
Tuchel
just
won it
saying.
as
am
well,
I
by the way.
That
surprised?
mean you.
Am
But
I
that mean you
surprised?
believe. So that mean you
Ah,
believe in Potter.
I
Then
don't believe in
if
Potter because Roberto
then
Di
why you
Matteo
saying
won the
Chelsea gonna win the
Champions League.
Champions
Man,
League?
let's go that, please.
Relax, go let Tom. You guys see it, man.
You see the name Potter is
Mm.
triggering now, so we have to use it carefully. Um, Basically with Nagelsmann, right?
Mhm.
First of all, NK, mute your mic, please.
BT, sorry, let me mute my mic.
Please, brother, please, because I'm gonna talk footballing wise. So we're not gonna go into his personal life or anything like that. I think in our last stream, I said that football is about cycles, just like our life is about cycles. All these big so-called big name coaches, their time is gonna be up eventually. Just like Carlo Ancelotti is gonna retire, Mourinho might retire in the next 5 to 6 years, depending where he ends up. Um, big coaches, when they leave, they have to be new and upcoming coaches, right?
Mhm.
And in terms of the upcoming coaches, who are the upcoming coaches that are in the conversation of the Europe's elite teams? It's quite a few. It's very few, in fact. Potter was one of them when he was in Brighton, because of what he did in the Premier League. Nagelsmann was one. Robin Amorim is one. And the guy from Frankfurt, I forgot his name.
Oliver Glasner.
Yeah, Glasner. Yeah, he's one. So there's only four so-called upcoming that have the hype of being the next upcoming coaches that are going to be doing good things in the future, right? And in terms of all the four that we've brought up, Nagelsmann is the only one that was tested in the Champions League in 2 seasons. And in those 2 seasons, the first season we can say, okay, he lost to Villarreal. He didn't do well against them, but he had the same record in the group stages like he had in this season. And it doesn't matter how good Bayern could be. The team always needs to be coached regardless. Because we remember what happened to Bayern in Hansi Flick's last season.
It didn't get like he just walked away because he
Yes,
wasn't
yes,
happy with the way they structured on the club.
yes, exactly. He didn't like the structure, and there was some whispers about the same thing about the players not believing in him anymore. I don't know if it's true, but Core is not here to confirm that. So basically, with Nagelsmann, yes, he's an exciting coach. He's an upcoming coach, but he's beaten a proven Champions League team in PSG. Even though people say, PSG without Mbappe and Messi, there is no PSG. Fair enough. But all those two players need is 2 or 3 chances to get one goal. They get 2 or 3 clear chances. You can at least guarantee a goal 80% of the time. And he kept them quiet in both legs. And they didn't even score one goal. That is only a testimony to his coaching. Even though in the first leg, when Mbappe came on, Pavard was on a mad one. But he still got the job done. And this only shows you where he's going to be in the next upcoming years, depending on how he picks the next team that he's going to coach. So I think, personally, since you asked me, Abdullah, Potter, we gave him until the end of the season. Fine. I don't have an issue with that. Just make sure you don't embarrass this team. Don't embarrass our emblem. Don't embarrass the history of this team, which is Chelsea. But take your time and show us what you can do. But in terms of 2 to 3 seasons or 4 seasons, for us to be able to fight on all fronts, me personally, I don't think Potter's the guy who's going to take us there. I think we might finish 4th, we might finish 3rd, we might finish 5th, but we need okay. I'll tell you why I came to this conclusion. Every team that fought for, let's say, the Premier League in the last few years, apart from Man City and Liverpool, was Arsenal, right? And the only way Liverpool and Man City were able to dominate the league the way they did, especially Pep, is you have to constantly refresh your system, refresh your formation, because you don't want to be found out. You're playing 36 games in total. Every team that you played last season, you're going to play this season or next season, home and away. So in terms of Chelsea, I think they might need a refresh or a reset in a way, right? We have seen what Potter's doing this season. He's tried whatever he could. It seems that nothing seems to be working. So he went back to what Chelsea players or Chelsea's philosophy was built upon for the last 2 years, which was 3 at the back. And then that's when, things started gelling again in a way. So I think for us to win the league or even to fight in all fronts, we will need a new philosophy, a new formation, something fresh, something new, something exciting. Do I think Potter can do that? I'm not really sure. Why? For 2 reasons. The first reason being, Potter is a people pleaser. He don't like issues in the dressing room. He wouldn't like, this is why he plays certain players. If he doesn't play them in 2 games, he'll play them the 3rd game, just to make sure that everyone in the bench is in harmony. But when you can see that some players are not efficient in terms of what you want to do on the pitch, you should have the courage to say, you know what, you need to work harder on the training ground so that I can consider you in the next few games. But at the moment, you are not doing what I need you to do. But with Nagelsmann, he had the balls to bench Neuer. And for me, that's a big thing. You're benching a legend.
Yeah.
Just because of his comments. And I think this is one of the reasons why there was issues between Oliver Kahn and Nagelsmann and so on. Because Kahn respects Neuer. Because he's also a legend. Right?
Goalkeeper.
Yeah, and we can tell from Bayern Munich's system, Neuer is going to be one of the people in board when he retires. It's just, you can see it. He never left the club. He's been there from day one. He achieved all this when he was in Bayern. He's going to be a legend in Germany regardless. So if he had the balls to do that, that shows you that if you're not abiding by my rules, I don't care who you are, you will have to take a seat. So this shows me that he wouldn't be afraid or apprehensive to take those hard decisions, especially when it comes to refreshing the team, refreshing the formation, refreshing the system, and showing us a new style of play that doesn't always depend on counter-attack. So for me personally, if Nagelsmann comes to Chelsea, it will be exciting. But for Potter, we gave him this season, let's see what he does. But for him coming to Chelsea, that's something, because we were looking for Zidane, right? Melo was saying this earlier. He said, all this upcoming bullshit, I don't like it. I understand, Melo. But if the big boys don't want to come to us because we're building a project, then beggars can't be choosers. We will have to look at the upcoming coaches. We've gave one a shot now. Let's see what he does. If he doesn't, They will have to go for another upcoming coach. And when they do that, maybe he brings a new idea. Maybe he brings a new philosophy. Maybe he refreshes everything, just like Arteta did with Arsenal. You never know. So for that reason, I don't mind giving him a chance.
Fair enough. Mr. Eddie, Julian Nagelsmann to replace Harry Potter. Let's take brother.
I don't want to speak too much because I don't want to jinx it.
But because Fabrizio tweeted it yesterday and this morning to say keep an eye on Nagelsmann to Chelsea because of the
Hey,
relationship.
look,
Right.
there's just one name, Christopher Vivel. You need to stand up, right?
Yeah.
Save us. Save us. Look, Potter's not get to the end of the season. Do I see Nagelsmann happening? Not straight away. If Nagelsmann takes a sabbatical next year, I can see him coming to Chelsea the year after. Because unfortunately, I think Potter gets the preseason at least. So Potter's got time. Potter's got time. Let's not make no mistake about it. But yeah, I don't know if Nagelsmann's gonna be there when Chelsea come calling, bro. That's just where I'm at. I don't think he'll play. If he does, I'll be shocked. If they pull the trigger right now, I will actually be shocked.
Fabrizio said the only thing that will let Potter go is about the result. It's not even about the long time because if the result doesn't annihilate the what the board want and the fans is kind of having a go at the ownership, they might pull the trigger on Potter. And look at our Eddie, look at our squad in April. We play Liverpool, Aston Villa, so many. I don't see us surviving 9 matches in April. Lord have mercy. We shall see.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a tough one, but let's see how it goes. I honestly don't see it. I'm sorry, like as fun as it is to think about, I want him. I want Nagelsmann, but the investment in Potter is just way too much for them to pull the trigger this season. Talk of next season. Oh yeah, okay, cool, we can ride. But then does Nagelsmann want to come in with mid-season? I don't think so, which is why I'm saying if he takes next year off, I can potentially see Chelsea getting him in 2024? Yeah. 2024. Is Abdullah there?
Yeah. But he kicked himself out. Sorry to interrupt you, Eddie. Besides NK on here, is all the other Chelsea fans on this panel right here, or you guys all Potter out?
Yeah,
That's a damn question.
He needs to go, man.
They should just ship him out of the club. I don't know what
Okay,
that
so
guy.
everybody on here except for NK is Potter out. Okay. Interesting.
Yes,
That
yes.
man, that
Yes.
Potter has given me sleepless nights. He have made me scatter most of half of the
So
shit
Vinto,
I was talking as I'm back. So
Vinto,
Eddie,
the
I
question
get
you
what you
asked
said.
us, the question you asked us, if you flip it back to Real Madrid, if Potter was your coach, wouldn't you want him to be out?
Potter at this
Madrid is not even used to losing. So what do you expect?
He would have been sacked in freaking January, bro.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Madrid can't go like 4 games straight to lose.
Yeah.
You will be sacked. Whatever name you are in the world, don't worry. I don't know because
So,
even
Felix,
if they're bringing this Nagelsmann, what I'm going to say is that bring him, give him 2 years. If we do well, we can extend it. All these 5 years contract, I don't know. You can build the
Why don't
future.
you
You
guys
want
go
to
for
present.
Why don't you guys for Lucho? Enrique is available. He has
The hell?
experience.
Enrique is available to you. But I think based on the people, based on the people
What
who
are
have
y'all
in the
smoking,
boardroom,
man? And
because based on
Enrique.
the people who have in the boardroom and everything, yeah, they want Nagelsmann. Like I said, Vivel is the name that has been put out as an even Fabrizio, Simon Johnson for the Athletic, I didn't say it. Vivel has a big say in terms of Julian Nagelsmann coming to Chelsea because they have worked together before in RB Leipzig. Boli has come out and said he wants to be the RB Leipzig model in terms of the Red Bull model. Nagelsmann is the man when they were doing the model stuff. When they brought in a lot of players, Nkunku, Jabajulai, Amada Idera, so many of them, Nagelsmann was there. So
Okay, can I ask
it
you guys
might
this
happen.
question?
So
If
Phillips,
Tottenham
Julian Nagelsmann.
if Tottenham wins the Champions League and finish top 6 in the league, does he get one more chance, like a little bit of time, or fire him?
He gets
I
time.
don't think he gets time, yeah.
Okay.
It's simple, bro. I
Please
mean, you win
stop
the Champions
giving us,
League,
stop
you get at
putting
least
us in
6 months.
land.
Phillips, Julian Nagelsmann.
I said, I already said it before. This all this manager, I don't trust them because see, the team that he was playing for was Bayern Munich, where you have that he was coaching. It was Bayern Munich when you have Afonso Davies, the fastest left back in the world. You have player like that can finish, Serge Gnabry, Mane, and all. And you also have at least there is that Bundesliga. There is no competition like that because I think the only competition there that they faced is only Bayern Leverkusen and Dortmund and Wolfsburg. The rest of them, I don't know. It's just a win for them. You see, in Premier League, that's when you will see Chelsea, Tottenham. You go and see Chelsea, Fulham. Fulham will even be more harder than Tottenham. You will see Liverpool, Chelsea. You will see Chelsea, Man City. You will see Man City, Man U. You will see Man U. That's just Premier League for you. It's just jam. It's just a accident. Jam here, jam there. Because if this man is coming into this kind of league, you want to use it to replace Potter. Give him 2 years, 2 good years, and tell him, Mr. Sir, if you do well in that 2 years, we will extend it again to another 2 years. So that if just in case he did not do well, you want to also sack him, you won't be thinking of how you are going to pay Potter out now because Potter now, if you pay Potter that money and sack him, it's going to be like a criminal that just break the bank and succeed. And you know, they
Well,
said that do you see it, Abi? 25 million that they said they paid this manager for him to leave the club, Abi.
yeah, they paid
So
25 million.
if they can pay 25 million, Chelsea, because that former goalkeeper that is this thing now, Raukan, he said because they don't want to miss out the chance of Tomotuko. And the Tuko that even came in that we call elite coach, they give him how many years? 2 years
2.5 years. Yeah.
That's how a good club that don't want to make mistake. You see that 2.5 years, you might just do well in that just 1 year. The other year, maybe you are not in that promised land. Oh yeah, or 1 year and a half, you just do well. The other next year, you're not in that promised land. The money that they are going to give you is not going to add there. It's just bank transfer. They will just call you or text you. The money is in your bank already. Please don't come back again. Bring this. If you want to sack Potter, bring in a new manager. Forget the long-term stay that you want to build the club that the manager will at least stay for 5 years. Give him 2 years. If you do well 2 years, we give you another 2 years. With like that, you can stay up to 5 years in the club.
But Philip, Todd Bowley doesn't. Todd Bowley won the Red Bulls project. That's what he wants. That's why
He read
it's giving him
in
another
what
5 years.
was
The RB Leipzig, RB Salzburg project. The way they've been build their club up from young players up to upcome and everything to superstars. That's what they want. That's what I'm saying. When I'm hearing Fabrizio tweeting Nagelsmann this, I'm like, okay, I can see that working with Christopher Vivell. Look at our body room. He don't bring in Paul Mitchell, he bring in Vivell, who has already worked with Nagelsmann before now with Leipzig with the project and everything. So I'm not, if they bring in Nagelsmann, I will not be surprised.
this news. I can't stay awake and be hearing all this news now. They should bring a manager that we know that yes, if you are not good before, at least he can turn a Rubel of Tushik to overfish crew man.
Excuse me? No comment.
I don't
No
know if you
comment.
can get a manager that can turn Messi Mat and still turn it to half of feet of this thing, Enzo. There should a manager that can be growing them.
That's deep. That's harsh. But it's too
Wait,
much. Ah,
NK, can you
Lord
talk
have
about your
mercy.
coach, man? It's like everybody needs on part
I
of the.
don't get this stuff,
Nana.
man. I don't
Now
get this
yeah,
stuff,
go
bro.
ahead. Go ahead, brother.
I don't
Yeah,
get
go.
this stuff. Like I tried.
Talk your
I actually
talk.
I actually kept quiet for a good 10 to 15 minutes. Listening to what everyone had to say. I respect everyone's opinion. You know. Let me speak on Nagelsmann first before people say I'm being disrespectful to the guy. I think he's a great coach. Would Chelsea be wise to at least pay attention to what's going on? Absolutely. If Chelsea want to sack Potter, I'm just saying the Chelsea hierarchy, Burnley and those guys want to sack Potter and get Nagelsmann, I won't complain. But I think it's very...
Sorry. Did you say Potter is a great coach?
No, I said Nagelsmann's a great... I'll
He's
get to
getting
Potter in a
there.
minute.
He's getting there. He's
Oh,
getting
I
there.
said Nagelsmann's a great coach. I said Nagelsmann is a great coach. I'm not going to disrespect Nagelsmann in terms of what he's done in his career. Unlike
no, that's
some people in the panel, I have respect for coaching. So I'm not going to disrespect the guy at all. What he did for Leipzig and then what he's been doing for Bayern Munich. I know he lost to Villarreal. Imagine if Chelsea lost to Dortmund. But, he lost to Villarreal. So, listen, nothing but the utmost respect. And like I said before, if Chelsea were to sack Potter and get Nagelsmann, I wouldn't complain. But I'm like I told people for the past 2 or 3 months, I'm content with Potter, man. I'm not in any rush to release the guy. Me personally, I said I was going to give him until October, November-ish before I change my tune, and I'm gonna stick by that. And I hate to make it about players, but you guys know me. I'll make it about players. Like just the approach.
You just contradicted yourself.
I know, just the approach with Noni and Mudrik tells me the guy knows what he's doing. Like, it's just a process. It's painful, yes. It hurts, absolutely. It
Very.
stings, yes. You see your friends doing better than you. These aren't even your friends, these are your enemies. You see your enemies doing better than you, and you feel like, yo, fuck, sorry for my language, fuck these guys. It's my turn. I get it. But for me, based on the approach that the club's taken, I'm very content with Potter. I could go into my reasons in depth, but as of now, I'm content, man. So
Until when?
yeah, until when did you say?
Yeah. Until when are you going to
I
be
said
content?
I'm giving him until October-ish, November-ish, like
Next
that
season.
period of time. Yeah, Halloween actually. I'll put a day on it. Halloween-ish. Then yeah.
So,
Okay.
Nana, you're basically saying it's gonna go how I said it. If Nagelsmann's coming, he's
Oh
not
yeah,
coming
I
till
said in an ideal
2024.
world.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Eddie. Let me say. In some people's ideal world, I'm not looking to make a coaching change until maybe 2024,
Yeah,
2025,
exactly.
25,
Yeah.
26. Yeah, 100%. Me personally, and if Nagelsmann's the guy, yeah, then he's one. He's the sort of profile that I'd want at Chelsea. I'll say that 100%. If
Okay,
you
quick
want to add,
question.
Mhm.
Just a quick question. If let's just say, just a question. If Nagelsmann says today, like let's say Chelsea he says, I want to go to coach Chelsea, then what would your response be? Would you say Potter gone, Nagelsmann? Just if he said today, I want to coach Chelsea.
Life's unfair, you see, and like what happened with Nagelsmann, it was unfair. I would advocate Potter. I would be. Don't tell me about it. I'll just wake up and find out. You know what I mean? I'll be like, oh, geez. I'll be like,
Excuse
oh,
me?
geez.
No. Give the answer, bro. Just give the answer.
Nah, you know what I mean? Just don't. Okay,
Nah,
listen. I would, but I feel bad for Potter it's unfair, but life's unfair sometimes. You understand? This guy Nagelsmann wasn't failing, and Potter, he's not doing well. But Nagelsmann actually wasn't failing, and he got sacked. So yeah, I mean, if Potter was Chimney, I'll say yes. Do I? But I'm content. Like I said, the content is the right word. I'm very content.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just me personally.
But this Nagelsmann second is bad for Potter because you know that he signed a 5-year deal with Bayern. They sacked him in the second year of his deal, and he was doing well. But so Potter is kind of like now there's no, you know what I mean? There's no more like,
I,
Chelsea's looking.
There's no leeway for him.
Chimney. Actually, Eddie, sorry, forgive me.
Yo.
I'll give it till March. I'll give it till March. Actually,
Yeah,
That's floating somewhere.
yeah.
If Chelsea are getting
let me do,
Chelsea are getting Nagelsmann, it's 2024.
Yeah,
No,
let me do
it's
the
not
same timeline
issue
that
at all.
Bayern's doing now. Like, let me put Chelsea on the same timeline. I'll give them till March of Potter's second year.
Yeah.
We'll come to the conclusion and the trends, what they were saying in the PR or whatever. But if he's not getting it done, and Nagelsmann is
I am
still
not
taking a
waiting
sabbatical,
till March.
taking time.
Excuse me, sir. I'm not
Honestly,
waiting
though,
till March.
I generally don't
Excuse me.
understand why Chelsea. I understand why Chelsea fan want Potter out, but at the same time, like, I don't care what coach you get. If you get a whole bunch of new players, there's no way they're gonna string a bunch of game and go
No.
and like.
Wait on. This is
Oh,
not about
wait,
see,
you open the can of worms.
It's all about consistency and playing style. Graham Potter was hired in September last year, and since he was hired, there is no pattern of play, no style of play, no structure.
But actually, yeah, that's a lie.
No.
No,
Yes, you can talk about new players.
I've seen
you can talk about new players
in January, right?
If
In
a
January,
manager, okay, wait. If a
when the
manager like
transfer
Ten
window
Hag,
opened in January, you got a
a
whole bunch
manager
of
like
new
Ten Hag,
players.
Pep Guardiola, manager like this kind of manager, pick up those players we picked up. I can guarantee you will see an improvement in them. You will see an improvement.
But what I'm
those
saying,
are managers who make them work. Ten Hag as a
right?
But it's
Chelsea
making them
do
work.
play well. It just you guys can't score. Like, for example, that Dortmund first leg.
For how many times have we been saying we've played well? But for how many times?
Huh?
How many times have we been saying we've played well, but still the same?
All I'm saying, Guled. Sorry, Wilson.
Manager.
Guled, do you see now? I'm
Felix
I'm sorry.
The post. I haven't missing sitter. That's not on the coach.
Now, to be honest,
I'm just saying, guys. Do you see now why Madrid can't play? Like, can't get active? Do you?
I can understand. I can understand
Mikhailo
Modric. I can understand Modric and Co. But I'm looking at Graham Potter's decision making when it comes to information, and I'm shaking my head.
The only thing
I'm like, this was working.
Did you see Modric today? Modric is.
I saw.
Not ready.
I'm willing to give Mikhailo Modric
Yeah, he's not
time.
ready.
I'm not worried about Mikhailo Modric. I'm willing to give him time. Same with
To be fair, against Leicester when he played as a false nine, it was his best game.
That's what I'm saying.
So
I mean, you can say sack Potter. I don't care what coach you are. If we're to get Ancelotti, how many players did you guys get in that January transfer?
Ancelotti ain't the kind of coach for this team.
No. I'm giving you an example.
No, he's just putting out random.
How many players did you get in January?
This is what you are missing. I get what you say when he talks about new players and everything, but this is what you have to understand that wherever manager that comes in is gonna get hold of this player who make them better. Potter is not.
We don't know that. We don't know that
because
he's not improving this player.
But Abdullah, this
which managers?
It's unique, bro. It's unique. I've never seen that before, where a club buy so many players in January and the summer.
Thank you, Wilson.
Okay. You are telling me.
Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest.
Really? But the thing about Nottingham Forest, they don't have ambition. They're not going to win the Premier League. You expect it?
No, they have ambition. You can't buy 17 players.
What do you mean? What do you mean they don't have ambition? How do you sign 30 players without ambition?
No, but listen.
What are you smoking?
No, Eddie.
No, their ambition is to survive, Eddie.
No,
That's their ambition. Their ambition is to survive.
The ambition is more than survive. What the hell?
What's the ambition?
It's to survive. Eddie, they don't want to go back there. They don't want to go to the slums. They don't want to go to the slums, bro. They want to stay. They want to stay in where it's at.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? If it was Real Madrid, Bayern, and Potter was doing that, yeah, of course he got sacked, right? But the thing about it,
they would never have hired a coach like him, though.
Yeah, I've never seen I've never seen a situation like this though, where a coach comes in, he has this player, and in January your club goes crazy, buy more players for him, and you're expecting those players to somehow, some
But
way
Victor, okay,
already
Victor,
match
I
up
get Victor,
because
I get
before
what
he
you
took
said.
over, y'all were already in bad form. Y'all were
No,
already
no,
in the
Now
see,
dust.
Potter,
no.
now
Before he
Potter's
took
gonna
over,
Potter
we were
will get
fourth in
time.
table.
Potter will get time.
See, Potter will get time, but this is never football is. It's all about result-based business. If the
Because I
result
saw
He
doesn't come the way
actually
you
I
want,
saw
no
I
no.
saw
listen,
him
Let's
with
look at
Brighton. Brighton
let's
was
let's
it's all about result-based. If it doesn't get the result you want, you're gonna get fired. And I'm saying it right now, in as much as the body want to give him, everybody want to support him. Football is a
it's a
very
results
cruel.
based business.
It's a cruel sport where if the result doesn't come the way you want it, you're gonna be out of the door. ASAP.
But my
Very,
thing
very
is,
soon.
you do know when Pep first came in, Pep struggled too in his first season.
No,
It
no,
is
come on,
Pep
it's not the same. It's
Guardiola.
not the
Pep
same.
Guardiola is a
Don't do that.
excuse me. Pep Guardiola is a world class manager. Don't
No,
do
but
this
he
on me.
struggled.
Don't
He
do
struggled in
that.
his
Stop,
And he had
first.
stop,
world class players.
He
stop,
struggled his
stop.
first season, bro. He struggled.
But
His
it
first
is
season.
Pep.
but
No,
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 but
no,
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 Yeah,
no,
but
no,
no.
no,
he
no. I
never
feel like
lost.
that. I
It's
feel
not
like
wrong.
it's not the
remember
same
when
though.
Pep first came.
He never lost 5 games in a row, man.
Remember what the
He had
British
world
media
class
was saying
players.
about him. They were saying, "Oh, you can't win with that play style, this and that. You're not gonna win the
Yeah,
Premier League
but
playing that
but,
play
but
style."
but but before Pep comes into the
They
Premier
trust
League,
him.
it
They
was
give him a
Pep.
full
His
summer.
name is
He got the players that he
Hilton.
wanted, and
Pep won
he had a
Hilton.
preseason
Pep
with
won the
them,
UCL
and he
with
took the league the
Barcelona.
following
He won the
season.
Bundesliga with Bayern. It is Pep Guardiola. Don't do this, please.
No, but
No,
this
no,
It
I
is
No,
see
but
what
Pep.
you're
no,
saying.
Wilton. With all due respect, we can't put Pep and Potter in the same sentence.
yeah, you
Obviously,
can,
First of
bro,
all,
but I'm giving
He
you an
never did.
example.
first of
He
all,
never did.
But I
first of
never
all,
did.
right?
I'm
No,
saying
but
though.
no,
I'm saying though. When
no,
Pep
because he
got
said
to wait,
Pep
let me ask you
struggled
guys
as
this.
well.
When Pep
So
got
in
to City,
comparison,
no, when Pep got to City, his first
This
season
guy
around,
Gullet.
were you guys saying they're gonna win the Premier League? Were you guys saying, oh, if they don't win the Premier League his first season, they have to fire
Hilton.
him?
If Pep is Chelsea manager,
no, no, look,
Messi
I won't
were
worry.
pretty dreadful that
Hilton, if
no,
season.
Pep is
like
Chelsea manager,
no.
I
Pep
would
was
trust
already
him than I
no.
would Potter. I'm sorry.
Pep was
I am
already a league
sorry.
manager when he came to City already.
I
Potter's not
don't
1 year.
understand
He's the
Hilton.
listen, Wilton. I'll tell you what the issue is with most of the Chelsea fans. Fair enough, struggle in terms of finding your formation. Fair enough, struggle in terms of
There's a
picking your
lot of
first
players on that
11.
team, bro.
No,
I've
no,
never
no.
seen this
Listen to
before.
me.
You guys have
No, no,
so
listen
many
to me.
players.
Fair enough, take your time in terms of picking your best 11. Fair enough, struggle with formations, but at least bring results. If there is no results, I think we actually broke the record in terms of being 10th for over 2 months. I
Yeah.
think we are the first team in the Premier League to be in one position for over,
And
I
after the
think,
international break, we play
yeah,
Aston
for
Villa,
over
we
three
might
months,
end it. We
almost
might be
almost
11th.
3 months now.
We might be 11th in
What
the
if you
next
get
4 months.
Nagelsman and he's struggling
Oh
too?
well.
Are you gonna sack him?
No, no, no.
We'll
I'm
see.
not saying, look, I'm not saying we hate Potter. I'm telling you,
Yeah, well, yeah, Gullet.
no,
Come
no,
on,
okay. I said
Let
to
him
him,
talk.
Gullet.
no, no.
Let
Oh,
him
You
talk.
heard what
Let
I
him
said.
talk.
I
boss,
don't hate the guy, but
champion.
wait,
Come on.
AK
wait.
mute.
When you heard the
Thank
word
you.
Potter, you
Let
get
him
triggered.
talk.
Wait, NK. All I'm saying is, right, fair enough. Struggle with your formation to find the best suitable formation that you want to play with in the upcoming season if you're going to be here. Fair enough. Struggle with your first 11. No problem. But games are coming thick and fast. Make sure you win, or if worse comes to worse, if it's a tough game, at least draw. At least draw. But if you have 5 games in a row where you lose, it's hard for the team for the fans to back you and say, okay, you're a new coach because every 3 days there's a game. Every 3 days there's a game. You need to do the work in the training ground, not on the pitch. But he seems to be experimenting on the pitch, not on the training ground, and that's the issue we have with him. It's not about giving him time or not giving him time. Every coach needs time to become who he is. If he's going to be great, mediocre, or good.
Yeah.
But he's experimenting in game, while the game is going on, not in the training pitch. That's the issue we have.
No, but I
So
think
Pep
he'll get
experienced
time. He'll get time.
games.
let me quickly. I want to quickly get what else I'll be back. But keep talking, guys. I'm coming.
No, I think Potter will get time, man. I think it's just as simple as like he'll get time, and if he's the
I'm
guy,
guessing he's
he'll
gonna.
prove. If it's the guy,
See,
he'll prove it. If he's not,
My thing too, though.
I'm
he'll
just
Chelsea
stack.
have new.
Thank you.
Chelsea got new owners. Are they gonna be like Abramovich, where they just sack?
No, I'm saying no,
They're not
Wilton.
trying
I
to be.
think
They're
he'll
not
he'll
trying to
get
be.
time. If he's the guy, he'll prove it. If he's not, he'll be sacked.
We have accepted that he's going to get time. We have accepted that. But
Good.
this is the only way. This is the only way he's going to get Chelsea fans back on board. You have time in the training ground, but we're hearing whispers like he's dividing certain players and he's working with certain players and he's not working with certain players. You
Would you
have the
want him
time.
sacked now? Would you
No,
want to
no, no,
take
no,
the
no,
punishment
no,
now?
No,
no,
he'll
no,
get
Right
time.
now?
He'll get time.
no, no. We're talking about it in a footballing terms. We're not talking about the guy as a person. We're talking about him in footballing terms, right? The only time you have as a coach to implement whatever you need to do for the next upcoming game in the next 3 days is done in the training pitch, right? But with him, it seems as if he's experimenting in game.
Personally, personally Potter was doomed to fail the moment he took the job at Chelsea, right? Just because Chelsea were not like in a good moment with Tuchel. The way Tuchel got left, and when he took over, we had to walk up in the middle of
Yeah, they
the
sacked
season.
Tuchel in a bad like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was weird. It was
and
weird.
you had
Like
to walk up in the middle of the season because let's keep it real. All the big team after coming back from the World Cup, they all been trash. City are finally catching their form. Bayern, we saw what they're doing in the Bundesliga. PSG haven't been the PSG we saw before the World Cup. Madrid has been dreadful. Barcelona are their league merchant. Arsenal and Napoli, the only team I could say has been consistent throughout the season. They didn't drop us. They formed a dip at all. But all the other big teams are in the Champions League. They all struggle. They all struggled. They all did. All I'm saying though, this season was strange. It was different. So I don't know. I'm not trying to make any excuses for Potter, but I'm saying though, would you guys do what Bayern Munich did right now? Would you fire him right now and get Nagelsmann in?
They
No,
would. They would.
no,
I don't blame
no,
them.
no,
They
no,
would.
no, no, no,
no,
no.
because
We are, we are not
No,
Bayern have
Gullet
different
would. Gullet.
objectives.
No, no,
Hey,
no,
But
no,
if
no,
Gullet
no,
was
Chelsea,
no.
I'm sure
going,
you guys want
What?
that because
he won't
Wait,
even call
no, no,
Potter
NK,
just
you
for
heard what
you.
I said at the beginning, right? I said to you when I was going to critique him football wise. I said, fair enough, you have this season. I didn't say I want him to get fired, right? But my point is, I'm looking at this in a footballing sense. I don't have issue with the guy. I don't have any issue with it. But I'm noticing a pattern. Maybe you guys can see it too. You remember when we were talking about Antonio Conte and Levy, and we were saying that Levy is having he's a power hungry guy. So the issue with Tottenham is power play. Remember, and I don't want it to be so in Chelsea, but the way Tuchel got sacked and the way Potter got hired now, and the way Todd Bowley is the one who's responsible for the sacking, even though he got three sporting directors, makes me actually worry about the future. Because if Todd Bowley hired three sporting directors and the sporting directors don't have a say on what's good for the club or for the players, and we have an owner that doesn't know anything about football generally, but looks at Chelsea as a business plan, even though he hired sporting directors. If he becomes like Levy and sticks to his guns to the point that we become a mediocre club like Tottenham, that's the thing I'm afraid of. For me
Gullet.
personally, it's
Gullet.
not about the coach. It's not about Potter or Tuchel. We're talking about the team. Fuck the coaches, bro. The team it was what gave us the glory. Let's be honest. The team
It's
is
the
what gave
truth.
us the glory. The players and the name Chelsea is the reason why we are Chelsea fans right now, and the history we had. So if Todd Bowley, even though he seems to be hiring three sporting directors, not even one, but he has a say in everything in terms of the manager and probably the players he bought, like Mudrik and Co and whoever. That's what I'm worried about. If he tells Potter
Gullet.
like in back, if he tells Potter backstage, I need you to play these players. I've paid a lot of money for them, even though they might not be performing. That's what I'm scared about. Fuck the coaches, bro. Anybody can come, anybody can go.
But it seems like Potter. It seems like from the decision, it seems like Potter has full power. To be honest, from what I see, because he's tinkering with the lineup every single week. Every single week he's benching
I hope
somebody
so. I
and
hope
starting
so.
somebody else. Like
I hope so because the way he sacked Tuchel and the way we were talking about Tottenham, I just thought about I deeped it for a minute and I said, wait a minute, hold on. This if you're right, Chimere, and I hope you're right, and the coach has 100% control of the players, I'm happy with that. But if it's going to be a thing where Todd B is going to be the guy who hires and fires and says this player must play or has favorites because of the money he paid and so on, that's what I'm worried about.
Gullet. Sorry, Gullet. Abdul, Eddie, Philip. You have until April 18th to get on the bandwagon. Choose a side you want to be on. get on
What are
this
you talking
Potter
about? What's
bandwagon
this?
or not. After April 18th, and
What are you
that
talking
train
about?
goes,
There is no train now.
I can't
Are
pick
you
you up.
talking of the last day of our season?
I can't pick you up, guys. If the
April
train
18th.
goes,
You're talking about Real Madrid, Abi?
Yeah.
if the train
Second leg.
goes, I'm telling you, if the train goes,
Wait, is the second leg at
and you
Stamford
guys
Bridge?
want to hop on the train,
Yeah,
I'm
second
not
leg at
allowing you
Stamford
back
Bridge.
on the train, boss. That's what I'm
I
saying.
beg, NK, where's
Yeah.
that train go?
NK, I'll jump on 11:55 on April 18 if I need to.
Yeah, no, okay, no. Actually, you are my let off. You, Eddie, are my let off personally. The rest, hey, don't even think about it. Don't even think about. Abdullah shouldn't think about it.
My
Gulen, I
friend,
know you
listen,
tried
listen,
occasionally.
listen.
Don't
Listen.
think. Abdul,
I
please
said to
don't.
you,
Ancient
I
man,
said
oh yeah,
to
talk
you,
your talk. He has been
I-
silent for it.
I said
Ancient
to you,
man.
footballing wise, NK. I don't hate the guy, but footballing wise,
Gulen,
we need. Let's be honest, we need structure. We need structure.
Gulen is a
Look,
politician, man. He's been
no,
watching too
we
much
need structure, man.
He's Chris
Boris
Brown.
Johnson, man.
No. It's the truth, bro. Look, if you make the same substitutions in 3 games and it works, fine. You can't do it again and again and again. You bring in the same players. Everybody knows that you're parking the bus.
In the
You can't
65
keep doing
minutes,
it in the Premier League,
the
bro.
first player is Conor Gallagher. Lord have
Thank
mercy.
you. You know this.
I'm you know what, let me be honest before Abdul
Come
goes.
on, man.
The substitutions, I get that as a genuine critique. Me personally,
but that happens to every coach. Every coach makes
yeah,
bad
exactly.
No.
But I get
Chimeri.
it.
Every day,
I do get it.
65 minutes. If I'm a coach, I can easily
NK,
meet Potter.
NK, be honest, right? Be honest, right? You have been watching the Premier League for a very long time.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one coach in the Premier League? I'm talking about the top 10 teams, right? Do the same substitution
Sorry.
for 4 games. 4 games. 4 games.
Sorry.
I'm talking about Sarri did 2. I'm talking about 4 to 5 players. No. 4 to 5 players, NK. 4 to 5 players.
Yeah, that's.
Come on, bro.
Sorry had Goulet. If Sorry had 5 substitutions, he could make the same substitutions every single game.
But we know where we
He made
ended
the
up
same-
with Sarri at that time.
We did, but you have to
And guess
contextualize
what?
that. You have to
Sarri,
contextualize that.
yes, but Sarri came with a reputation in Napoli, and he had his own system. He had his own system. But Potter is experimenting. He tried 4-3-2-1. He tried 4-4-2. Now he's trying 3-4-3. He might try 3-5-2 in 65 minutes.
Nana,
So,
please, can you tell me
five to six
why
players.
is this love and Potter with Conor Gallagher every 65 minutes? I don't know.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Based on the pressure, right, that the midfield, because for me, Chelsea have played really good football, actually, just generally. But based on the amount of energy that midfield has to expend, they can't do that for 90 minutes. So, and Conor, unfortunately for you guys, Conor Gallagher actually has some lung capacity.
If you are
So
playing a back,
bring him on.
you are playing a back, you want to tweet a back. Gallagher is the first player to bring on.
No, I just think at the day,
I do think so. I do think so personally. Like, it's because even and the worst thing is you guys are saying this, but when Tuchel was here, who was the guy that was coming on?
Lord have mercy.
Gallagher.
Thank you very much. That's all. Abdul, please.
But we know Potter. We know the way Tuchel wants to play because he wants to stabilize the defense and make sure everybody is solid.
And you still but I'm lying. You're not listening.
No, but we can't compare.
When Tuchel was here, he was coming off the bench.
Before we go,
with all due respect, you can't compare Tuchel to Potter.
No, I think,
but he's making the same subs.
No, he's not making the same subs.
I was seeing no, Goulet. I was seeing
no. Tuchel, yeah, but okay, make the same subs.
There you go.
Fair enough. But you have your team is still attacking, bro. But fair enough. This team, when he brings in midfielders, they're all defensive minded. We're talking about Zakaria, talking about Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Gallagher, fine. Sometimes he drifts up and down, no problem. We're talking about Chukwuemeka that cannot even kick the ball sometimes.
Don't do that.
No, let's be honest, bro. We're talking about a team. This is Chelsea, bro. We're not Sheffield United, with all due respect to them. We are winning. We are playing in our mother's house. In our mother and papa's house, we're playing. And then you bring in the Great Wall of China.
But wait, Nana, this is what you're gonna annoy me.
Come on, Nana.
Next week Saturday, we're gonna play against Una Emery. If we lose in Stamford Bridge to Una Emery, I'm gonna get pissed off. I've been very calm with Potter.
No, I
If
won't
we
be
lose
surprised
to
if he.
Una
I won't be
Emery
surprised.
at Stamford Bridge,
Abdullah, this
oh
Abdullah,
my
this
God, that
No,
means
but I won't be
Don't worry.
surprised because
you will see
Una
the other.
Emery.
Chelsea fans will see the other. Potter will see the other side of me. I might even cause his family.
Abdullah,
No, but I won't be surprised. Sorry, Jimmer, I won't be surprised because Una Emery, if it comes to one game, coaching for one game, just like we saw him in the Champions League and in the Europa League, if he knows a coach's hand very well, right, he's going to be a tough team to beat. His team is going to be a tough team to beat. So if they
Potter
beat us, I'll
cannot
be
even be
surprised.
on dice. He want to beat Una Emery next week Saturday. Chelsea.
No, but Abdullah,
You
I
guys,
think
you
this
guys
is.
don't answer my question. Why was it that when Tuchel was here, Conor Gallagher was being brought on? That's all. I wish
No,
Blue Eyes
but
was here sometimes.
no,
Why?
but Enki,
Why?
this.
Why?
No, but
That's what I want to
Enki,
know.
this is the thing. This is the thing I think like we're all missing. You know, like saying Tuchel, saying this coach would do this with Potter and that coach. I think that's we're missing that because those coaches have already proven their mental. Like Potter isn't that type of coach. When you're hiring a manager like Potter, you're not hiring an elite manager. Just so you knew, like at the time you're hiring Potter, you're not hiring him because you're trying to upgrade from Tuchel. You know, you're hiring him because you're trying to go in a whole new direction as a club. You're trying to try something new. You're trying to find out if this guy Potter, one, he's one of the most up and coming coaches. You're trying to see if this guy can develop into our guy that we keep. Like, you know, if you want to say like on Arteta or whatever, all these coaches that they keep that stay. You know, or like a Poch when Poch was doing what with Tottenham, that kind of thing. Like I think that's what Potter is like saying. Tuchel, all these dudes who already proven like
But you see,
they're not those kinds. He's
sorry
not
to
that
cut you
guy.
short. This is my
He's not
fear
that
now.
guy
This is
yet.
my fear as a fan because I look at our April match and I'm sweating inside me because Potter is gonna be facing one of the most elite manager in even EPL, Pep Guardiola, Eric Ten Hag. Even he's gonna be facing Una Emery. I don't see him beating those manager. I am with you. Even as much as Chimere, as much as Liverpool is bad, as much as they are bad, it cannot face up with.
I mean, the reality is, I mean, Potter isn't an elite coach. You know, he's not an elite coach. I mean, he did well in Brighton, but he's not elite. But you're hiring him in hopes that he can one day become elite. That's the point. That's what you're hiring him for. And in the day, like I think the thing is, Potter will get his chance. He'll get his time. And if he's the man for the job, he'll prove it. You know.
And if
But if he's not the man for the job, he'll be gone.
Yeah, but Chimere, what is our main critique when it comes to Potter? Our main critique is it seems as though he is not doing anything in the training ground all this time that he has. In terms of on the pitch, he realized that in the Dortmund game, the 3-4-3 worked fantastically for him. His substitutes worked fantastically for him. He didn't go back to the drawing board and say, the next game is not Dortmund. Let me try and fix something. Let me try and work on something else. This is Chelsea Football Club. It's like every time we score a goal, we have to pray to Allah, Jesus, God, whoever it may be, that they don't score. Because he's bringing on the same players. Look at the substitution that Sean Dyche made in Everton. He only brought in Sims. That guy, only Sims, right? And we brought in the Great Wall of China, 5 players. 5 players, all midfielders. And this guy brought in an attacking player. And that same attacking player
let's do it quickly.
was the reason why we lost.
To even make it more interesting, let's do it debate.
Yeah,
We're still gonna talk about EPL when it comes to next week. We're gonna do Thursday, Friday, the Chelsea roundtable on Friday. We're gonna do the EPL preview where we're gonna have to talk about the matches. Newcastle United versus Man United. That's gonna be interesting. Chelsea versus
We're dropping points, man.
Relax, we'll get there. So I want us to do from 2010 till now. I don't want us to go to 2000 because ancient Abdul is here. Abdul must start going to like 70, 75, 19, Abdul, please relax on us. So let's do 010 till now. Let's do the best 10 in modern era, the best number 10. Let's start with 010. The best number 10 in terms of 010. Starting from 2010 till now, the best number 10. Give me your take on that.
The best number 10. So,
wait, worldwide or in the Premier League?
In the world? No, in the whole entire world.
In the whole world, the best number 10.
Yeah, from 2010 till now.
From now till I mean, my answer is gonna shock you guys, but I gotta go with Thomas Muller. If we're saying from 2010 till now, I gotta go Thomas Muller.
Break it down.
That
Break it down.
that'd be my answer
Thomas.
because he's second all time in assists.
Mm-hmm.
He's been huge for Bayern and Germany. Look at what he's done. Look at his record.
Mm-hmm.
He's won two Champions Leagues. He's also been, I mean, it says the numbers are there. It's not like it's just the numbers are there. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
could say you have other guys like Ozil, but he hasn't had the level of consistency throughout the longevity that Muller had. Because Muller started becoming a big name in 2010. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so and up until now, he's been a good player. And also, KDB didn't really start peaking until 2016. Around that
2015,
time,
16. Mm-hmm.
2016 is when it really started becoming like a household name. With City.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're going 2010 till now, I'll have to say Thomas Muller.
Thomas Muller. Oh, that's a very big shout. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Phillips, 2010 till now, best 10, best number 10. Mr. Phillips, so I think it's muted. We'll come back to you, sir. Ogagolet, 2010 till now, best 10.
2010 till now.
Mm-hmm.
You mean still playing or retired?
Play retired.
Playing or retired, both.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Any one of them.
in terms of accolades, it's definitely Thomas Muller. But me personally, in terms of overall, I would say Wesley Schneider.
Oh,
That comes to
that's a
number
good
two.
one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
It
because
comes to my mind too.
the way that guy I'm not gonna say single-handedly, but the way he pushed Holland to the final in that 2010
Mm-hmm.
was just amazing. Everybody was waiting for Robin to do all the work,
Was
but
he in the hotel
yeah,
Inter Milan that won the UCL?
yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah,
that
he
one?
was. He was the treble actually. Not only
Okay.
he won the treble, he won the Italian Cup, he
Mm-hmm.
won the Scudetto, and then he won the Champions League. But the run that he had and the way I think he had the highest assist in Europe in 2010
Mm-hmm.
at that time. And remember, in the World Cup, Holland lost to Spain because of Iniesta's goal,
Yeah.
and I would say he was the main piece in that team, him and Robin. But luckily, all the eyes were on Robin. But the work that he did was just unbelievable. And as a pure number 10, in terms of creativity, in terms of finishing, in terms of even defending, thanks to Mourinho, I think that helped him brush up on his defending. Everything that he was doing in that time, I think between 2010 to 2012,
Mm-hmm.
because after 12 he started, degrading in a way, was the
Mm-hmm.
best I've ever seen. So I would go for Wesley Sneijder personally.
Nana, best number 10 from 010 to 2023.
He's not here.
Mm. He's gone away.
He fell
Vilton,
out. He fell out.
Vilton, 2010 to 2023, best 10 that we've watched.
Uh, it's between two players for me,
Okay.
but I'm biased, so I'm gonna say Ozil.
Oh, that's a shout.
I was gonna say Messi, but that's just way too obvious. But I'm gonna say Ozil. Ozil is the best because when I think of the number 10, I just automatically think of Ozil. That 2012 23. Most people always bring up the 11-12 season, but my favorite Ozil season was the 2012-2013 season where he was just assisting Ronaldo because Ronaldo scored 61 goals. That was the year Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or. Week in week out in La Liga, Champions League, whatever it was, Copa del Rey.
You,
Ozil
you
was
can you can add 14 as well because you won the World Cup.
yeah, Ozil was just assisting Ronaldo. Like I've never seen two players like it was like kind of MSN, right? Where they were just on the same wavelength, but Ozil and Ronaldo, they just had that special connection. I've never seen two players just knew exactly where each other were. Like Ozil would always find Ronaldo and he would always play the perfect ball. And the fact that he was, I mean, to be that was his role, but he had better pass accuracy than Messi and Iniesta in 2012, 2013. He had more assists. in Messi and yes, like which was crazy, man. Ozil, one of my favorite players ever, man.
Sure. So, and your second person is what? Lionel Messi?
Yeah. But I'm gonna go for Ozil since Ozil played for my club and Messi tormented my club for many.
Messi is obvious, Abdullah. You should
Okay.
say, you should say, apart from Messi, that's the best one.
Oh, okay. Messi, because Messi is kind of very popular.
Yeah, Messi will put everyone to sleep.
Eddie, best number 10, 010 till now.
Let me bring a name that's gonna go underrated in this conversation. I don't know if anyone's mentioned them.
Okay.
David Silva.
David Silva. Manchester
That's a
City.
good
David
That's a
Silva,
good shot.
Manchester
David Silva.
City.
Man City,
Not a
yes.
lot of people think of him because of
He's
the
so
team he played in,
underrated.
but he's so underrated, bro. He's
Very
so
good player.
underrated.
I like him. Very, very good player.
When
Very good.
you think of a number 10, he's a prototypical number 10. I'm sorry. Beautiful. So yeah, I'll go David Silva.
David
Was he in the
Silva.
squad of the 2010 World Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
He won the
yeah.
Euro, the World Cup, everything. The only trophy he never
was-
won is the Champions League.
Yeah, he was in the Spain squad.
No, that's a good shot.
And he was on the bench too, bro.
Yeah.
That's Spain.
Abdul, Mr. Abdul, 010, 023, best number 10, please. Don't give me a player of 1785, please, because 2010. Just stick to 2012. Abdul, ancient man, talk. Oh. Lord have mercy. This
I
man.
really try to do it there.
He's here. Ancient man.
He's there. He's there.
Abdul is here now. This is Zoom. Lord
You
have
know,
mercy.
you know Abdul who reminds me of, right? You guys watch Nollywood, right?
Yeah, I do.
You remember Sam Loco?
Stop.
You remember that movie? You remember, you remember that? You remember? No. You remember that? No. Wait a minute. You remember that movie where he came from London, then he came to meet his friend in the village.
Yeah, London.
Exactly. I remember.
Yeah. And then he was
London.
no, he was talking some big words. Nobody could.
Exactly. He was talking. Abdul, relax. Abdul is an ancient man, so relax. Relax and Abdul. So you are saying Abdul is a Sophia in London, Abdul, relax. That's chill.
No, I said he reminds me of him with his one-liners.
Damien, 2010 to 2023, best number 10. Mr. Damien, how you doing, brother? Talk.
Just these people never sleep.
He said give him a minute. He said give him a minute.
Phillips, best number 10 from 010 to 2023.
From Moten. It's Andres now. Andres Leona.
Stop. It's that's more typical because everybody knows that one.
Okay. I'll go.
Apart from Messi,
I will go with Modric.
Luka Modric.
That's a good shot.
That's a good
Yes.
shout.
I will go with
Modric is more like a number 8.
Is he a number 8 or number 10 though?
This is more of a number 8 to me. It's not of a number. It's number 8.
No, Modric is not 8. He's Tony Cruz. Tony
Modric
Cruz
is more of a
plays.
number 8 to me. Is it number 10?
Tony
Maybe
Cruz
when he
plays
got
as
to
a 8. Why he plays as a 10? So
But the way I see Modric plays, more of a number 8 to me, though. Maybe it's maybe it's different to how I see it, how I perceive him as a player. But it's more of a number 8 to me. Modric is a big shout.
No, because he gets the ball from deep. That's why.
No, but he played. I think he played 10 at Tottenham though. I think Modric.
And Croatia, both.
Yeah, Croatia. Yeah, and Tottenham. Yeah, so no, I mean he can be a 10, but he's mostly an 8. I think.
Modric is a big shout. Modric is a big shout. Yeah. Modric is a big shout. So Abdul, ancient man, are you ready now? Damien, are you there? Because ancient man decided not to talk anymore because they don't compare him to Sophia in London, Mr. Sam Loco. No wahala. keep meeting your mic. Damien, you ready? Because me, I'm in between because I watch Snyder and I also love Ozil too. Because I love the way Ozil pass. His weight of pass for me is what I love in Ozil. It's not even about the pass, it's weight of pass. The way he kind of lay up the ball kind of makes me kind of fall in love the way he plays football. But if I have to choose, because sometimes I put accolade in it where I have to put accolade. Ozil won the World Cup. Snyder won the treble. I will give it to Snyder. I'll give it to Wesley Snyder for me. Inter Milan, Netherlands, and everything. I'll give it to Wesley Snyder for me because of the way he plays football. Wesley for me. Wesley Snyder for me. As a number 10. Ozil is a big shout to. I won't mind Ozil, but I will go for Snyder. I'll go for Snyder for me. So you guys, are you guys ready now?
Okay, Abdul waiting.
Oh, David Silva. Somebody mentioned David Silva already. Yeah.
Eddie mentioned.
Yeah, Eddie mentioned David Silva already. Relax. Chiomaya, it's Sam Luku now, Sophia in London. Relax. It's a Sophia in London.
See attacking formation. See defensive line. See ozone layer.
Relax. I don't know. Abdul and them, if you guys are ready, let me know. If you guys are ready, let me know. Let me just know. You guys said not to talk again, but I don't understand you guys. Especially Abdul just came to the stream. He became silent and he muted himself. Lord,
Abdul is cooking.
Abdullah.
Yes, sir.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
My question is this Rolando, is he getting old or is getting younger? I want to know. Because the thing now is kind of confusing.
No,
because
I've been seeing his body. His body is like a 20 years old body, so relax.
Someone who is 38 years old is still better than like I haven't.
Don't go there, please. Please, not to talk today, please. Don't let K Black fly into the stream and hang us there. Relax. Easy on the Google. Relax. I shall not talk. After that World Cup, I have been humbled because Lionel Messi made me humble. So I don't know what to say again.
Nothing will ever humble me. Nothing. Because
so Damien and Abdul, are you guys ready before we bounce? So I realize that you guys are not ready. We'll come back to you guys.
Damien, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Best number 10 from 010 to 2020. Welcome to the stream, brother. How have you been? Long time.
I've been good. How about you?
Oh man, we've been chilling, man.
It's good to hear. The best 10 that I've seen, it has to be Muller. Multiple Champions League winner, World Cup winner, won the Golden Boot as well, like a 21-year-old. Almost won it again, 2 consecutive World Cups. Influential in.
Did you win the World Cup twice?
No, I meant like the Golden Boot.
Oh, okay.
In 2010 and 2014.
2014, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and influential in one of Bayern's best periods recently. So I have to give it to Thomas Muller.
That's not a bad shout. Muller, yeah, I rate Muller too. I think Requirement was in 06, right? 06, something like that. That's a requirement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like earlier.
That was like between 03 and 08, I think. 07, 08, 08.
Because I was thinking about requirement. I'm like, what year was requirement? That was 03, something like that. Yeah. Abdul, are you ready now? I don't know what to say about this man. I'm beginning to suspect this man.
Abdul is making suhoor.
And yeah, Abdul, I always tell you, if you want to cook 2 hours or 1 hour before the stream, with this man, Lord have mercy on you. So guys, let's talk. Let's do something. Let me start with Hotel. Jose Mourinho's 2010 Inter Milan. Since then till now, let me go to Julian on this. Which Champions League who is the best Champions League winner since 2010?
You mean best team?
Best Champions League winner since 2010.
Best team, you mean? That won the
Yeah,
Champions League, right?
yeah, best team. You could say the best team, or let me just the best Champions League winner since 2010 though, till now.
Man, it have to be 2017 Real Madrid, man. For me, anyway. I mean, 3 consecutive years in a row. Uh, I think 2 out of those 3 seasons they were underdogs. Not underdogs, but they were not the favorites. And yeah, I think from 2017 I would say Real Madrid because the players, the way the players played in those finals were just unreal, especially that comeback against Juventus. First half losing 1-0, and second half coming back. Was it 3-1? I think it was 3-1. Like, it was unreal. Even the Liverpool game, it was unreal. So yeah, I would have said 2011 Barcelona, but nah, I think in terms of, because we have to look at consistency, and for me, consistency is Real Madrid. I mean, for sure, to do it year in, year out, 3 consecutive years in a row. Yeah, that is just straight from a movie, I would say. So yeah, for me, 17 Real Madrid. Jimmer, go. Who would you say?
Um, this time, man, there's been so many great teams this decade, man. Even Marino's Inter is underrated. Like, Marino's Inter team is underrated. They
Mm,
got Barca. But I have to say, man, it's like the best team I've probably seen, man, is that 12-13 Bayern team, man. Probably. Because they beat Arsenal, who were pretty good at the time. I mean, they weren't great, but they were still a good team. They beat Juve, and then I think that was the year Conte broke the record, right? What's the Serie A? 12-13,
hmm
right? Or was it the
Yeah.
next year?
No, I think it was 11, 12.
11-12?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they beat Juve, man, pretty convincingly. Then the way they just smack, I mean, Barca. I mean, that was a good Barca team. It wasn't a trash Barca team. They finished first in La Liga by some
Yeah,
distance.
yeah.
So like that team was pretty dominant, man. Like they didn't really have a good weak. They didn't really have a clear weakness, like a clear way you could attack them. Like they could keep the ball well. They're athletic. They had players on the counter attack. They had players who could keep the ball. There's
They made Barca look very mediocre that season. I mean, that game.
yeah, like it's just and I don't know, but that team was just like it was so complete. Even Madrid too, man. It's like there's so many great teams, man. That Madrid team is also great too. 16, 17, man. They're also complete. You know,
Yeah.
like Barca, 10, 11. Complete dominate that final. Marino's Inter was also very good. Like, but I have to slightly give it to Bayern 12-13, man, because that team was just complete all over the field. Like they didn't really have a weakness.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Melo.
yeah. Me, I will just go. I will go with my team. I will go with my team. Chelsea,
Okay.
Chelsea, 2012. We're not good at the league, and we went straight ahead and come
Yeah.
back against Napoli. That game, I can never forget it. My hope was gone away from that game that we can't come back against Napoli, and we go to their home and we did it. And that was a great comeback for Chelsea. Didier Drogba, Lampard, John Terry. I don't know who scored again. So, and,
Ivanovic.
yeah, thank you, Ivanovic. Now
Old school.
forgetting all these things. So, and also we also went and go and beat Bayern Munich in in their own stadium. So that is another advantage.
Yeah.
That's it. Because Bayern they played that final in their home stadium. You know what it is to play a football game in your home ground. It's like you are coming to my home to play final. And
Yeah. Yes.
and it was also disappointing that Chelsea also, after we move on from there, I think we beat Barca, and John Terry was given red card. He was not available in that game.
Yes.
So It was a very, a dire game for Chelsea that, everybody never believed. After conceiving a goal with a late draw from Didier and also commit a penalty at the extra time for Bayern to take the lead again and win the trophy, Peter Cech also denied it. So it was that's the best thing I've ever experienced. I can't lie.
Yeah, it was a miracle.
Everything was just like a miracle because after the draw, now the Drogba that drew the game also went to go and cause penalty.
Yeah.
Now, Ruben, you have one thing to do: score this penalty and put this game to bed because
It's
there's
true.
no hope. There's no hope. Immediately, Ruben stepped up with that penalty. I said, if Ruben scored, I'm going home because Chelsea, the miracle has already happened when Drogba drew this game. So
Yeah.
I don't know how miracle will happen 2 times in one game. This is a penalty from how many yards? Immediately placed the penalty. Peter Cech saved it. And I was like, that's when when you have the hope that yes, this is made for you. And I was
Yeah.
like, there's nothing Bayern Munich will do when this game go to penalty shootout. Chelsea is winning it because it's like when you get the opportunity, you did not use it. That was my great final. That was my greatest final.
It's true. No, that was a great final. That was
that
that.
was-
That's that. After that miss, that's what may give us the belief.
yes, that's what makes everybody believes. Yes, or Ribery and that
Yeah,
Bayern squad that season. Oh my days. That
it's true.
squad was that squad. You have to be scared of that squad. Muller is on fire with Tony Cruz. I think Tony Cruz was there
Yeah,
before he went
Schweinsteiger.
to Man. Yeah, see the name you
Yeah,
are calling.
yeah,
Schweinsteiger. And Chelsea, we even use Bertrand, that guy that plays for Saturday before he leave the Premier League. We use that
yeah,
guy as a forwarder because of the injury and everything. He used that guy as a forwarder in that game. I was even surprised that they told me that is when I was watching the Premier League games the last 2 years. They said Stevie Bertrand, the Champions League winner with Chelsea, and I try and look at the name. Who is
Oh,
this guy?
I forgot Bertrand started that match.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, it
I
was the
forgot.
starting 11. I was like, who is this guy?
yeah.
And
Ryan,
they
Ryan
said
Bertrand. Ryan
he's
Bertrand.
the starter team that won the Champions League with Chelsea. And I went to
It's
go and
true.
check the lineup in the Champions League final against Bayern Munich. And I saw him he played from the 7. And I was like, really? I was not even looking at this thing. And we were not even having that opportunity because our captain, John Terry, is not in that game.
Hmm.
And you know what it means when John Terry is not in that defense. And I
Yeah,
was
but
still surprised.
Tim Cahill did very well.
Yes, and I was still
Tim Cahill did
surprised.
very well.
These people come
Phillips,
come out.
you brought me back home. I don't want to remember what to, but you brought me back home. I can never forget
No,
that.
I say I cry. Abdullah, I cry after
The
when
funny part about it is, I was watching that match in Africa, and I was in the view set. I was just sitting on the
you
TV.
was in Africa then.
I was watching the match in the view set. I was like, hey, Oluwa Mio, please, God,
Me too. I was
let this
watching
be our year. 08, 09 with United. I don't want that to happen again, please. Because that 09, that 08, 09 break me. I was like, hi, I'm going to go into the under final, lose again. Hi, I can't take this one.
Abdullah,
Then
even 09 or 10 against Barca.
exactly, but that one didn't pay me that much. Unlike the 08, 09 against United, where we
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
chance to win it.
No, don't remember me that thing.
That one
Don't
enter
remember
me.
me that game. That game, don't remember me. Just like yesterday, please. Opportunity was too much for us to win that game.
That thing enter me. That day, I broke. Me, my brother, that street, that way I was living, that street was very silent because everybody from where I live till the bus stop where we take Okada, all Chelsea fans. That day,
Heartbreaking.
it was like maybe somebody just died and they were doing like a demise. It was very silent.
Abdullah, do you know what's paining me right now?
Mm-hmm.
The whole time you guys were saying Ryan Bertrand, I was thinking about Harry Kane. Because this guy Roberto has collected a Champions League medal. I can never collect the Carabao, man. I was just thinking about
Yeah,
that
this
time.
veteran, Abdullah, I was surprised. During the last 2 years, he was in South Africa. They said the only player in the pitch that have won the Champions League, the veteran, won it with Chelsea 2012 in the Bayern Munich. I was like, who is this guy that they're saying? And they were showing me, and I just said, okay, let me take my phone and go. Abdullah, I was surprised this guy played from 7 in the final. He was not even from bench. Starter. I was like, so how did this guy make the team that year? Because
And
that
everything was a
final,
miracle.
I can tell you, that final was no hope final. Like,
You know
let's
the funny
just
part, you see, Philip, that 012 final, because my cousin bet, I said this thing before, he won 400,000 naira.
That's at that time 400,000 naira is
Because that year he bet with the Barcelona fans. He told that Barcelona fan that I'll put my money on. I am the owner of this view center. If Barcelona won the Champions League, I am selling this view center to you. He said, the man said, are you sure? He said, I'm selling it to you. I am the owner. The man literally my brother bought all his documents and everything. He owed it. He said, this is the thing. If Barcelona win that Champions League, I am selling you this view center. And I was like, are you crazy? He said, I'm not crazy. This is waiting for Chelsea to win it. I was like, are you mad? He said, no. And when that whole thing came in, you see, when that final come, when the semi-final, when Barcelona scored, my brother was already pissing in his body. But like, how you chilling? He could not watch the match anymore. He could not do anything. He just went out. And it was just like this. Till everything from 2-0 to 2-2. Immediately Chelsea knocked out Barcelona, Lord have mercy. It became unbearable.
No, once you guys
final, it became unbearable.
No, once you guys beat Barca, to me, it was clear that you guys were going to win the season.
No, Turmeric. The comeback from Napoli.
Was Napoli,
that comeback
the
was
comeback
amazing.
from Napoli was the beginning.
Yes, the comeback from Napoli was the starting. That was the main game because Napoli. How many 0? It was like 3-1.
3-1. It was 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1.
I still remember something.
And that was a good Napoli team.
I was like, no hope. As at that time,
I
as at that time,
Hamsik was there as well.
The aggregate started already. Yes, aggregate is working. It's not known now that they stop aggregate.
Also, that time, I think it was very rare for a team to come back from that kind of goal deficit. You know, that and Chelsea had lost more than almost half of the games they were involved in that season too. Like we had a bad season. Like it was so bad. But I think it was so unbearable that Roman had to sack AVB in January. Was it January or February? He sacked him in February after the first leg. Right? Yeah, he sacked him after the first leg. I remember he paid 20 something. That was a record at the time. It was a record amount to pay for any coach to break his contract, right? I think he paid almost 20 million pounds, right? Cash to Porto to break AVB's contract and get him to Chelsea. He signed AVB for 5 years. Was it 3 or 5 years? I know he had a long contract because I know Chelsea kept paying AVB.
Yeah.
Was it 3 or 5?
He was
3.
It was 3 with an option of 4. So basically 1 more.
Okay. Exactly. So everything was stacked against Chelsea and Roman Abramovich.
It's true. It's true.
I said, for you to go to Italy that period, because Italian team, the way they played that season, when they beat you, you are not coming back when you are coming to that Italy. And miracle happened there. Big miracle. Drogba! Oh, Drogba. Wherever you are today, that man. See, Chelsea, I don't know why they are not used of molding their legends outside the stadium. I don't know why. I don't know why Chelsea are not used to that thing. Because if Man City can mold their David Silva, Chelsea cannot mold Drogba outside the pitch or the territory.
You know that funny part about it is, when we look at this era of football, to those years of era, there was mentality, there was togetherness, and there was fight. This era, It's too much of social media. But those era, all they care about is we want to win. We don't care about the manager. We just want to win for the badge, for ourselves, and for the club. And in as much as people say this is a new era of Todd Bowley, the era of Abramovich, I love it because I was used to it. Roman doesn't care. He wants to win. And that from Roman Abramovich to Granaskia, to all of them, the DNA has been there. Whoever we are getting, I don't care. Women the UCL or you are out. Women the Premier League or you are out. That's Abramovich philosophy. It does not care. So those era, that whole age pain me. That 2012, I was like, should I give all my all or just calm down? Because that 08,
I've lied. The biggest mistake, the only mistake Abramovich made was the first time he sacked Mourinho. He sacked him too early. That was a mistake he made.
Exactly, I agree.
That was the only mistake he
made.
No,
Chimere, you know why he sacked him then? He sacked him because Mourinho was not. Mourinho became lackadaisical in terms of he wasn't meeting the what they call it, the metrics. You know, Abramovich, yes, expectation exactly. Abramovich was a very, very ambitious owner when he started. He wanted to dominate. That's all he wanted to do. And that's why he told Peter Kenyon, guess me, this is a check. This is my open book. Buy anyone you want to buy. Sell anyone you want to sell. I need a team that has to win the Premier League next season. They sold Celestine Babayaro. They sold a lot of players that were there. They sold Hasselbank. They sold so many very popular players at the bridge.
That thing that you just said, Jose Mourinho also said that Messi was close. He already agreed with him that they agree with the owner that he's going to join Chelsea. Messi. He said, but he told Roma that, bring me Drogba, don't bring me Messi. Because
the best Champions League. The Madrid 17-18 was, I like the 16-17 too. Was it 16-17 or 17-18? That team was stark.
Oh, 16-17, yeah.
That team was stark. I love that team.
Yeah, the Madrid 16-17 team was a strong team. That was Cristiano at the peak of his powers. That was exactly. They had who they played in the final? They played Atletico in that final, right?
They played Juventus and they spanked them.
And they beat Juventus.
They played Juventus. It was Juventus they played.
And that was a very good Juventus.
Was it that year that Ronaldo did the scissors kick? Was it that year?
No, that was the next year.
No.
That was the next year.
The next year against Atletico, right?
No,
he did the scissors kick against Juventus.
No. Hold on. They played Atletico, then they played Juventus, then they played Liverpool in those three finals, right?
Yeah. They beat Atletico like 3-0, I think.
Yeah, 16-17 was Atletico. Then 17-18 was Juventus. I think 18-19.
No, 16-17 they played Juve in the final.
Then when did they play Atletico? They played Atletico twice.
The year before.
13-14. I think 13-14.
I know the test. Everybody knows the test. That was La Decima, right? That was 13-14.
No, they played Atletico the year before 16-17.
The year before.
16-17?
So 15-16, you mean?
No, 15-16 they played Atletico.
15-16 Atletico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it went to penalty, right? That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, they went to penalties and they won it.
Yeah, 15-16.
15-16. Give me your
that was
champion.
Yeah. Eddie, Vilton, and Abdul didn't speak about it, and Emi.
Yeah, so Emi, give me your the best UCL from 2010 till now. Which team is your best UCL winners? Which clubs are
2010 to now? Oof. 2010 to now. It has to be. I think it has to be the Tiki Taka Barcelona of 2011, right? Yeah, I think that team and the Bayern Munich team during the COVID-19 2020, I think those are the two teams I would say they dominated from start to finish. There was no doubt that those two teams were going to win the Champions League those seasons, right? 2011, I think it was clear. Everybody knew it was Barcelona. And there's a reason why I know I didn't say 2009, right? Because that 2009 was Chelsea. But 2011, everybody knew 2011, that Barcelona team had had marinated and cooked, So I was
Was it
very
the first
sure.
that Lionel Messi scored in 1992 goals in on calendar year?
Man, that was Messi at his peak, man.
Is it
Yeah,
the year they cook Manchester United?
Yes, they
Yeah,
beat
2011,
they destroyed my
That was
final.
my the way Messi scored his best career goals. He mentioned that goal.
92 goals, 92
Yes,
goals.
he said
That year
that
in
goal
the
is his
final.
favorite goal in his career.
Yeah, 2011 in that final, they destroyed Manchester United won the Premier League that year, but it didn't look like they were actually Premier League champions. Like it was cakewalk for Barcelona. Like I remember what's his name, Ferdinand granting an interview and saying, "Man,
He's still recovering until today.
yeah, till today. He talked about it last year. He said that 2011 final showed him there was levels in football because in the Premier League they were bossing everyone. They were, him and Vidic were so good. But guess what? In that final, Messi, David Villa, and Alexis Sanchez destroyed them. Oh my God! No, Pedro came in the second half, but those are the starters.
Now. It's Pedro that started scoring, right?
Yeah.
Was it Pedro that started scoring?
It was Pedro.
Yeah, it was Pedro that started scoring. I knew it was Pedro.
Oh, okay. But you see that match was when people started saying the false nine, right? Because that's when false nine started, right? People started thinking about, man, we don't need a striker that occupies the center backs. We just need, we just need those. We just need the what do you call it? Them to arrive at a particular time, and TikTok. Through the center backs who are now bored and they've not run, so their muscles are very relaxed, and those guys will just come and occupy them and just make space and score. That's what happened in the first goal, the second goal, and that the goal.
Welcome back, Ancient Man. Welcome back. Welcome back.
What's up?
Let me give you a clap. Welcome back. We have been calling your name for the past 1 hour. Welcome back.
Abdullah, I just want to interject this
thing. Welcome back, sir. Welcome. We have been calling you for the past 1 hour. 1 hour.
You know how it goes during this time of the year.
I know. What were you cooking?
Hold on now. Before I let Emi to continue, what was Rabamaja's position?
Rabamaja was a number 10, right?
No. Was Rabamaja not a false nine?
No. Rabamaja?
Okay, continue.
That's a very good one. Well, Rabamaja, was he really a false nine? I thought Rabamaja played then they played a two striker system, right? I can't remember who his partner was, but he played off of that striker. So he kind of dropped a little, created, and sometimes he actually scored.
I don't know what position he was playing, but he was one of the architects of a false nine, because then there used to be man marking, so he drops into the midfield for you to man mark him. So he was playing false nine then. Anyway, continue. Let me not distract you.
Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. So you say the tiki-taka, right?
Yeah. So that's 2011, and I think coming close is 2020 Bayern Munich team, because that 2020 Bayern Munich team was everybody knew they were the best, right?
Hansi Flick team, right?
That 2020 Bayern Munich team. Don't worry.
And I think it's no surprise that those are the two teams that actually won trebles in this last millennium, in the last decade, right? Oh, wait, sorry, but Barcelona also did that in 2015. People give that Barcelona, that's the Messi, Suarez, Ares, and Neymar, right? People call that 2015 probably another very close third, but I'll take that 2011 team, the 2020 team, maybe 2015 team as close to.
Yeah, that's
And where's Wilton? Wilton, don't be angry with me with the
Wilton,
Madrid
Wilton,
bias, right? Because I know Madrid.
2023, which team was the best this year of Wilton? Which team was the best?
The best for me was the 2018 Real Madrid team. That team pretty much capped off like
2018. The Zenit
the
Zidane team, right? Okay.
yeah the team that pretty much capped off
The three
the
picks.
the
Okay,
three
okay.
peat pretty much, yeah, because we did something no
Why
other
not the
team out.
16-17 team? That 16-17 team for me was I prefer that one than the
No,
2018
it
one.
was pretty much the same team. The apart that we lost Morata, we lost what you may call it, Kiko Garcia left the team.
See,
Uh,
Morata might be the luckiest player in our history.
James
That guy,
also
I don't know
left.
his
James
agent. You
also
know.
left.
Morata. Please, who is his agent? Let me go it because that guy
But yeah,
has
no,
not played for him.
overall as a team, based on squad depth, the 16-17 team had more squad depth because you have players like James off the bench, Morata, Gareth Bale was coming off the bench and stuff like that. Pepe was coming off the bench because Varane is pretty much a starter now. Yeah, 16-17, but I just go with the 17-18 just because they did the three-peat. They defended the title two times, like, right? They won it in 2016, then they defended again 2017, and they defended again in 2018. Yeah, but yeah, you could say the 2011 Barcelona team. That team was fantastic too. They were very very, but obviously we had to learn the hard way. Like that team was really good. They beat us like 5-0, like in one Clasico. So that team was just like on
So
their
your
like
own was the 18 one, the 2018 one. That's not bad.
yeah, the 16-17 team. Also, one of my favorite team that I enjoy watching, most you guys might find this weird, was a 2008 United team with Ronaldo, Nani, Hargreaves,
Mm.
Tevez. That team
Don't
was
don't
so
remember. Don't remind me that year, plece. Don't.
Okay, you are
uh,
trying to say now because they come and
Please.
beat my club. Abi?
no,
Don't
no,
remind
no,
me
no,
that
no,
year
no, no,
was
no, no,
bad. That
no.
year.
I'm not saying that. Like that team was a lot of fun to watch in the Premier League that season
Ronaldo,
because
who
Ronaldo had
again?
like Ronaldo because that was Ronaldo when he won his first Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or, yeah, that
Like
was yeah.
yeah, like he scored like 42, 43 goals, something like that for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like that
Mm-hmm.
team was so much fun to watch, bro. Not gonna lie. Then obviously you had 2010 enter, 2013 Bayern, 2009 Barca, 2015 Barca.
Mm-hmm.
Who else am I missing?
16, 17 Madrid,
Yeah,
17,
16,
18 Madrid.
17 Madrid. Then Bayern 1920.
Mm-hmm.
Madrid, you honestly you could make a case for the team last season. I know that Madrid team wasn't that good, but based on
Mm-hmm.
the team that we went against, like we went against PSG with Mbappe, Neymar,
Man City
and
and Chelsea.
Messi, then Chelsea, who won the Champions League the year before that,
Mm-hmm.
then City, the team that were favorites to win it all with Pep Guardiola, then the final Liverpool, the team that everybody thought was well, Liverpool fan thought they were gonna do a quadruple. So
Mm-hmm.
make a case for that team, but obviously that team is not as good as 16, 17, because 21, 22 is pretty much those players are past their peaks, right? It's pretty much experience that got them over the line and with youngster. But 16, 17, everybody was at their peak of their prowess, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah,
Fair enough.
2012
Eddie,
Chelsea was the most
Eddie,
unsurprising.
which team was your best in terms of from 010 to 2023? Eddie is not here. I think he left. Abdul, give me your own
Yeah, so
2010 to 2023. Which team was the best for you?
so the teams that were the best Champions League winners
Mm-hmm.
for me were the
Mm-hmm.
teams that it was so obvious from the early stages that they were going to win the Champions League. They were so
Okay.
strong. They were like a mismatch for anybody who was facing them. The
Mm-hmm.
first to me is the Inter Milan of 2010.
Oh, the Jose Mourinho one. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Jose
yeah,
Mourinho, that treble winning team, that team was
yeah.
solid, man.
That team. That team. I remember that team.
It was so
Samuel
obvious
Eto'o,
from
Diego
like
Milito, and
exactly
so many of them.
from like the quarterfinal, you could tell this team they were just too strong for any other team. It was a mismatch playing them. That team, and then the 2011 Barcelona,
Yeah.
that team, it just seems like I mean, it was no brainer. If you're a betting person, you just had to bet on that team to win the
Yeah.
Champions League, and they were so obvious from the start. And then
Mm-hmm.
the Bayern Munich that won a season after we won the Champions League, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
That Bayern Munich team was strong as well. And then the Bayern Munich that won it in 2020, the COVID year.
The Hansi Flick
That
one.
team was just, they were full of aliens, man. It was just
Yeah, they
obvious.
were running, beating everybody.
It was just obvious you couldn't match them.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was like going to fight somebody who was like
Yeah, they
better than
slap
you.
everybody, bro. They beat Tottenham 7-2. They beat Barca 8-2. They beat Chelsea
Uh,
like 7-1. They
oh
beat
my god!
it.
Everybody.
You see,
Just forget that was the reason why they didn't give Lewandowski that Ballon d'Or because
Yeah, because of the COVID. Yeah, I remember.
you see, for that season
because I
alone,
don't know we are not here to play
season-
basketball.
for that season
Kai,
alone, I just want. That's the reason I want. Is it what's it called? The manager and
Hansi
Flick.
Flick.
That's the reason I
Okay.
want Hansi Flick at
I
Chelsea.
said he will be beating you
No,
like 5-0. This manager will still be angry, telling them to attack for what?
I don't know what.
That's wickedness. Philip, that's wickedness. That's wickedness. That's
Imagine
wickedness.
they will be beating you 5-0. This you will see as if Flick still angry when someone misses a chance. Are you okay?
Yeah, I remember
That team was just too.
when
I don't.
Ah,
Koeman missed the
I remember.
when this
I
when it
remember
was
that
like
time.
6-2. Remember
I,
the Barcelona game when Koeman
when
missed
you
the
talk
when
about
he didn't pass it to
Oh,
Lewandowski.
Barcelona, please,
Yeah,
please
he got
remind me.
so
Remind me. 8-2. 8-2. Oh.
what do you call it? That
Mhm.
coach, for just what he did to that team, I don't know what steroid he was injecting them with.
Lord
I
have
just want him
mercy.
at Chelsea for one
Hi.
season,
They
just one
beat
season.
everybody in that. Oh,
Even those
Lord have
players were
You know,
mercy.
looking
the one
different
that
then.
just out of everybody that they beat, the one that just makes me angry was just Tottenham. How can you go and score two first? Tottenham just run and score two. And they just said Tottenham. Genebri, cook them for me. Genebri was just scoring goal from any place, any
I tell
possession.
you, man. I
I
tell you,
remember that.
man. And you know
I
what?
was like,
Filipello. You know
we
what?
take Genebri and thought to this thing, I thought to Ronaldo again.
You know what?
But,
Filipello. Some of those players, they've not
yeah,
fully recovered from giving their all in that season. People like Gnabry have not recovered for the amount of work they did that season.
I
Trying
swear.
to get to that level. They are yet to get that level. The work was so much.
They have yet to
Like,
get. That's the reason why Genebri is in bench now.
exactly. The work
Mhm.
he
With
did.
Genebri, they scored their career that season because
Yes.
I said against the Barcelona own. Oh, where I watched that boy, I forget I was not having sub on my DSTV, and I went out to go and watch it. A lot of
It's
Barcelona fans, and I
it's
was like,
it's like that Jose Mourinho's 2010
Not 10.
Inter
Yeah.
Milan, Inter Milan.
Inter Milan
where,
team.
Snyder played so much football. After one season, he was suffering from exhaustion. He couldn't play football anymore.
Wait,
yeah,
Abdul. Wasn't
he,
it that 10 that wasn't it that old 10 Mourinho that Mourinho told Balotelli to not to get a red card and he get a red card?
Yeah,
Was it
yeah,
that
yeah.
year?
yes.
Don't
He
even think
said,
back.
the Balotelli after the first half, Balotelli get a yellow card, and he went immediately. They went straight to the tunnel. He tell Balotelli, please. He sat him down for how many minutes for just to talk to him alone. So
I don't even
please don't make sure you did get red card in this game. He
I
said
don't even
immediately
think
they come back
I
from the
don't
tunnel. It's not even up to 2 minutes.
My
Balotelli
thing
get a
is,
red card.
it's the way they
MB,
did it too. They
MB,
I'm pretty sure
MB
that
don't
Bayern
come
team, right?
change.
Mhm.
That Bayern team won, Abdul. Like that Bayern team won every single game in the group stage. Won. They're the first team I think to go flawless. I think in the group stage ever. I think that was the first time in
I
Champions
said
League
that was,
history. Yeah, where
I
a
was
team won every
it,
single game.
it was so obvious from the start of the season they were going to win the Champions
I
League.
said I said
They just
against Chelsea,
just
I was
wait.
just sorry for regime. That time he has no experience.
That Tottenham game was
Apostle
the
David,
funniest game I've seen in my life, bro.
Apostle David,
How do
Apostle
you
Davis
go?
was your passing through regimes as if you are using a Ferrari to overtake Toyota. Phew, phew. I was like regimes life is
Bro,
needed. And
you
I
know it's
think it
funny
was
enough.
our silly fan Tammy Abraham that get that goal for us.
Mhm.
You know,
Tammy
funny
I
enough,
Abraham.
remember.
the only
Yeah, 7
team
2.
that the only team that can held their hell high was PSG. They're the only team who didn't get destroyed by them. Everybody
1-0.
got double digits or more, bro.
And
Like
that was in the
round of 16, like they beat Chelsea like 7-1 on
oh my
aggregate.
That
Then
team,
you had Barca, Tottenham
my
get
God.
lost 7-2. Barca 8-2.
You know
Leon was like
pains
4-0,
me,
right?
guy,
What was Leon? 4-0?
AB, what really pains me was what UEFA did. Why don't you let Bayern to go and play second leg with Barcelona? At least let history. Let history. At least
Phillips, you
we should
evil,
be
bro.
seeing
You an
something
evil
to
guy,
say
bro.
every day.
Felix, you're
It's
Because
evil,
true.
bro.
It's true. They only played
yes,
one.
it's true
One
now.
leg.
I'm
One
not
leg.
lying now.
They should have played
I'm
two
not
legs.
lying. I don't like all this. See, you are a Madrid fan. See, why
But
they
still,
never
that
not
would have
let
been
them
close to that would have
Philip,
been
you're an
close to
evil
22.
guy,
That
man.
would have been close
Evil
to
guy,
22.
man.
That's
Bro,
let's
still
that
play second leg.
it would have been. And the
Let's
thing
just play
about Bayern,
second
right?
leg.
Like if
And
this was
that year,
if this
Bayern were very good that year.
if this was Real Madrid, right? Usually Real Madrid. And second, if we like, for example, the Liverpool, you saw how we beat them 5-2, right? Usually in the second leg, Real Madrid take their foot off the gas. But Bayern, I don't know what's like. They just want to keep scoring, keep scoring, keep scoring, keep
See,
scoring.
I said that's the reason why I said I was Barcelona fan. I don't know. See, today they don't want to hear that name, Mula. That guy. They don't want to hear that name. Mula, any little thing in his conference, machine should get ready. He will pay for it. Are you okay? Why are you using Barcelona now as your own scapegoat team? Because I
you see,
wish they allowed them to play that second leg. It's not what we are saying here we should be saying, because that would have been a history that they are going to print out as a magazine for the world to be seen. I just think that second leg, everything together would have been 15, 2 or
It will be more
15
than 15. It will be more
or
than 15.
15
It will be
series
more than 15.
you
or
see,
15
that,
series.
No,
you
Bayern
see
Munich
that
will make
Hans,
this team maybe 25.
Abdullah, you see that Hansel Flakes, right, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, as a
He
flake, yeah.
squeezed everything out of those players in that season.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
sure he sort of like analyzed every player's bone and muscle, and he told them like, "Look, you put on more muscles in your leg. You put on
Now
more
you can
muscles."
see you are right. Look
We're
at
just like
Goretzka.
playing like aliens.
They was calling, you know what they were calling Goretzka that season? They was calling him Incredible Hulk. That guy he looked like
See,
Hulk. If you jam
have you,
that guy into your midfield, you are in
have you seen
trouble.
Goretzka? Have you seen Goretzka like that since then, since that season? No,
No.
he
No, we
super
are not seeing
analyzed.
Goretzka play football again, even against the PSG man away. He's not doing anything. He's just there. You really said the truth.
That
Those
is
people play their
that's Abdul that year, Lord have mercy. That year, Lord have mercy. The way they handle people that year,
I
Lord
said
have
Diego Alcantara, that one was just supplying pass as if
So
it's normal thing.
You know what? You know what's funny? You know what's funny? The Barcelona one made me laugh. Messi was just walking. He gave up. Messi just gave up. Messi was like, no,
I said the
I cannot keep
machine don't know
myself.
what to do again.
Messi
See,
was like, no, I can't
there's
keep myself.
some moment you will, and you know the goal they who scored that game. One was offside, one was on goal.
Yes,
Sorry,
yes.
on goal,
That's
on
too
goal.
last. That was too. He joined in the middle of the season. That's too last. That was too. He joined in the middle of the season. Yes, yes.
Yes,
Remember,
middle of
he
the season.
replaces Nikokova that year. That's too. That was too. Yes.
It was just there's this thing that Muller and Lewandowski always do. Give me, trap it again, give me again, go.
Exactly.
See, it's just like PlayStation. I was like, is these people playing game?
Look,
I was
that's
angry with that team. I was just angry with them.
that's Hanso Flakes. If he handles these Chelsea kids in 2 seasons, we're gonna win the league.
Charles Abdul.
Let me tell you, if I should flick handle this Chelsea player, I don't think people like Pulisic should be playing football there.
Injury. Philip, injury. No. That boy body is middle class.
Flick don't like who is getting injured. Rhys James, he will just look for another right back for Rhys James. No, he will not even think about what the English media is saying if he's the best right back in the world that they are saying. He will just bench Rhys James straight off. Because all this you're off and on. Nigeria NEPA is even short more than you now.
You see what I mean? But these are the kind of coaches I want, that I like. I don't like all these. Oh, he's gonna win the league in 2 seasons. Oh, he's good.
Let us give him
Because that year,
People
people said as the free player were using
powers.
what was this thing they called them? They were using this medicine. What's the name of this medicine? No, is it to anything? It didn't use them. It was just the way it trains players. What's this name of this medicine? I've forgotten the name. They said he was using one minute. They said he not using 1 minute. That was the only way it was about to train his player, and they were like everything they gave them, they followed it. I was like, damn, the way they beat player that day, and it was because of COVID. That was why they didn't play the second leg. Imagine there was no COVID.
My
Barcelona
God,
don't suffer.
what they would have done to teams without.
Chelsea, Tottenham, FC Barcelona, Lord have mercy. I will never do that match. I will not even turn up that match. I will not even turn up.
Everybody was silent. Everybody were just silent. In the final, PSG wanted to come out front strong. Good.
Philip, imagine there was second leg. See, after that A2, imagine there was second leg after that A2. Just imagine.
I said that was what people was waiting for. How come UEFA? You know what you are doing. Let this happen, so that we will see something to tell our kids when they grow up.
Yeah, exactly. This Chimere, yes, the MSN era too. MSN era, yes, I remember that MSN era. Yeah.
I said that season, that same season. Do you remember that same season? They beat one team in league in Bundesliga, almost close to 10 goals or so. They were just scoring that game. I said they were topping the league with how many points. Dortmund was just relaxing. They said no, we don't want to do it again. Lewandowski. And one thing I like about this Bayern is that I keep saying it every day, if you like it or not. Whenever they draw Bayern and Barcelona, be you anybody that Barcelona, they are not winning Bayern Munich. It's like they bet this on their DNA that we don't want to lose to this Barcelona. We can lose to another team. But you see,
I don't know why that rivalry is. It's just a rivalry.
The rivalry is not just a rivalry where Barcelona will win this year. No, the Bayern Munich will win next year. This one is Bayern Munich. Bro, these people are good.
Even Nagelsman, the young manager, even beat Barcelona. I was like, wow.
They were the one that sent Barcelona to this Europa that they just left now.
Exactly.
This Bayern Munich. When they were going to the airport, Muller posted the video and said Barcelona, Uruguay. He said bye-bye. He said, so the champions. Ale. I was like, what's wrong with this Muller? This man. Let this man. Why is Muller still playing well at this age? This guy has been playing football for long.
Abdul, give me experience for the 08, 09 and the 12 season as a Chelsea fans.
You mean 07, 08?
No, the Champions League final 08, 09.
Yeah,
when we lost to
08,
and the 12 when we won the UCL, the experience.
You see, I think the 08, if we had a different manager, we would have won. Don't forget that 08.
This is what Lukaku for.
No, 08, Avant-Grande.
Okay. Well, Lukaku was in Chelsea then, Nabi.
No, it was in 012. It was in 11. It's 012 or 13. It was in 013 when you led the Super Cup. It was 13. 08 was John Terry's sleeve.
But you know Lukaku was in that 2012 final. But they did let him add to the squad because if you go and check out the picture they snap, you see Lukaku there.
Yeah,
I saw him with red, but he was not part of the squad. Yes, just the way they say Graham Potter select his squad now and left some people like they are Aubameyang, but he was there.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, oh, look at Lukaku.
Yeah, big boy.
They did not pick him.
2008.
So sad.
I think if we had a different manager, we would have won that Champions League.
If
you look at it, I think he played what's his name? Michael Essien in like right back or something like that. And then Nicolas Anelka was on the pitch, on the bench. And then I think Didier Drogba got a red card in that game.
He got a red card, yeah. It was. Yeah.
So, experienced manager would have prevented all that nonsense. Using Michael Essien at right back. What sort of rubbish is that? Because you just want to accommodate.
Which one paid you most, Abdul? Did the Barcelona one that we lost in semi-final pay you, or the United one we lost on that Avant-Grande? Which one hurt you most? And when you remember that, this one hurt me.
What and the what? Which one and which
the 0809 under Avant-Grande or the Barcelona semi-final that Anderson Iniesta.
Oh no. The '08 pain me most because it's not easy. It's not about being a big club that gets you to the final sometimes, you know. And if you look at it, we've been struggling to get to the final since Abramovich took over.
Yeah, that was our
That
first
was the
final.
first exactly. So that was our first big opportunity in the final, and we didn't
And
have
you
it.
know the scary part? It was Abramovich City, Moscow.
Exactly.
And
So
and they showed the camera. You pinned Abramovich like he was about
yeah,
to
of
post into
course. And
cry.
then even
You
the
pinned
penalty we
him.
took, our penalties were like it wasn't convincing. And
Yeah,
tell those guys,
I agree with you.
and you could tell those guys didn't really have belief in Avram Grant.
Mm,
They just
yes.
like
Yeah.
play as they know football.
If it was another coach that took us to that final, we would have won that final.
It will have been
Yeah,
Chelsea
and
had the better team.
we
And
had the better team.
I think Chelsea beat United that season too. I think.
No, United were overall the better team though. They won the Premier League that season too. They were
No, but in the league, we finished second that season. We chased them. So from December to I think from December to the end of the season, we barely lost. I think we beat them once that season before that. So they beat us when we were struggling under that was this guy now. What's his name? This Brazilian coach, or what's his name? Is it not
Felipe
0708
Scolari.
was
Felipe
Scolari,
Scolari.
right? I think Scolari started that season and then Avram Grant came
Oh
in
yeah,
in November.
this was the
No,
score.
no, no.
Last,
Let
thank
me
you.
oh
This was the
07,
score.
oh
Check,
07,
Cole,
oh
Terry,
08.
Cavao, SC, Magre,
Abraham Grant took over from Jose Mourinho. Okay, but I think in that season, okay, I think Roman and his clique were still learning about football. That it's not about money because I think then their mindset was we have money, we can succeed, we can do anything. So they just got rid of Jose Mourinho in a disrespectful way, and they thought like, oh, we got money, we can do anything. We know, we're Chelsea, we'll get whatever we want to get. I think they were still in that mindset because they shouldn't have got rid of Jose Mourinho the way they did. And even if they did, they should have brought in a proper coach. And then you just gave the coach to this guy. Avram Grant was even worse than Potter.
Because I believe it was
Yeah,
if it was Ose that was in that 08-09 season, we win the UCL.
hold on, Abdullah. I'm getting somewhere. So Avram Grant was worse than even Graham Potter because the guy had only coached in Israeli league. So how did he qualify to even get this job? He only got the job by,
I being a Jew.
referral. Jobs for the boys. My friend says. My neighbor says. My neighbor is an accountant, so he says. My friend is a coach, so he says he knows this coach.
I think Abdul at that time, Avram Grant was the technical director of Chelsea though.
No, it was that season that they brought him in. Okay, when they sack Jose, then they said he should take over. So a few weeks after
When did they sack? I thought they sacked Jose 0607.
no, they sacked him at the start of 0708. At the start. Okay. So at the start of 0708, they brought in Avram Grant as a technical whatever. So when they sacked Jose a few weeks into the season, into the 0708 season, then they just said Avram Grant should just like take over full time. And then he took over. Obviously, he didn't know what to do because he's never managed at that level before. But I think they were still learning. They were still like, learning on the job. The directors, the football, our ownership was still learning on the job there. That it's not just about money, it's not just an
They
elite coach.
sacked Jose September 20th, 2007. So they pretty much sacked him at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just a few weeks into the season, and then you just say Abraham take over. So you have to bring in, and it doesn't matter that you have money, you still have to bring in an elite coach. But then
This was guys. This was the score then. This was the score then.
Wait, but Abdul, they are saying that that Mourinho dared Abramovich to sack him in a meeting. That 2007.
That this was the score then. This was the score.
So the thing is, the problem did not start at that season. This problem started at 2006, 2007 season. where they didn't really back him. Okay,
Yeah.
he should have won that league that season. So we should have gone 3 seasons
Three.
in a row.
But
Yeah.
wait,
You know what
how
I mean?
come this
But
year end up as
they did
right
not
back?
back him. Melo, 2 seconds. They did not back him. Czech got injured, life-threatening injury, where he got that
Yeah.
the skull.
Yeah. That Reading. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
so he was out for the season. John Terry was out for like almost 6 seasons,
This
where he
was
had like
this was the squad. This was the squad then.
back.
This was the squad. This was the squad then. The Chelsea squad in 08. Terry Cavall called Essien. Essien as a right back. Lord have mercy. Makelele.
No, he did well. He did. No, he did well in that final. He did very well in that final.
Why put SCN as right full back in a Champions League final? What
No,
sort of
but
nonsense is that?
no, but he was.
Oh,
You know what?
because you wanted, okay, because you wanted to accommodate Lampard, Makaleli, Balak, and Joko. You put SCN,
Yeah.
SCN at the right back. Are you mad?
No, but Abdul, that was not the reason. Chelsea did not lose that final because Essien was right back. Actually, he played very well in that final. I know they brought in Belletti.
Look, SCN is a non-ego kind of human being. If you put him at the keeper, he will still try his best. We know that. But imagine
Remember in that time, Essien was world class, right? He was the best in that central midfield position.
so
One of the best
why
in the
not play
world.
him at midfield? Why not play him at
I
midfield?
I didn't understand why they because Macaulay was already 36 at that final. Macaulay was old.
SCN should be playing instead of Makalele in that final.
Yeah, and then they would have played Belletti, right? But Belletti was old too. Maybe Belletti was not fully fit.
Look, just
But
play
you can still play him and just
Balletti is right back.
he's
Okay,
right
no
back here.
matter how
Belletti
old
is
he
right back.
is, Balletti is right back. But then he thought like, oh, he wants to accommodate, he wants to contain Ronaldo and all this stuff. So you play one of your best midfielders right back. What sort of nonsense is that? And you play Joe Cole. Okay, you played Joe Cole ahead of Nicolas.
And you
Anelka.
had
Come on,
exactly.
that
And you had
knew
Anelka on the
if he
bench.
sniffs the goal,
Exactly.
if he sniffs anywhere around the goal, it's a goal. And
Anelka
then you're
scored.
playing
Should have played 4-4-2.
he didn't know what he was
Belletti,
doing.
Essien, Lampard, Balak, and maybe Makalele, and play Drogba and Anelka as a front two. Like choke the midfield and just go for it.
And then
Because it's the final.
Drogba got a red card. Do you think
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho will be a coach of a final and your senior player will be getting a red card? He's going to punch him
No.
in the face. Like, are you mad?
We will calm him down. We will calm him down. We will just tell
Exactly.
him.
He will warn them about all these kind of things. He will have given them all these details.
Yeah, we're like giving them warning before then. Don't lose your head. Just don't lose your head. Play your game and just win and get out. Don't lose your head, please.
But how did Macaressi end up as a right back?
That was avant-garde.
Say the coach smoke Ijebu this thing.
That's what happened.
It's
when
an
he-
avant-garde. We don't understand avant-garde.
That's the what do you
I'm
call
not
it?
sure I watched this match.
Oh,
Abi.
wait, Anna. Give me your 12. Abdul, give me your 12 era. How do you feel that 12 when we won it?
You see that 12th era, right? Immediately after the Napoli game, I just knew something funny was going to happen. Like, you know, when you know that something funny in football is going to happen, it's not a matter of like who plays well or who does not play well. You just knew that something funny was going to happen. Maybe,
Yes,
I don't know, you just had a sense of like,
you
okay,
just get that
it's
feeling.
going to be fun today. You know, when you go and play ball with your friends outside, you know what I mean? And you just arrive to play that day, you just think like, oh, it's going to be fun today. Maybe it snowed a bit, or maybe it's a bit colder than normal, or maybe you just bought a new boot. I just like, it's gonna be fun play. So it wasn't about the football. I just knew that this thing is gonna be fun. Something's gonna happen. Okay. So immediately from that, and then in that Barcelona game, when we won the first leg 1-0 at Stamford Bridge, I didn't care what was gonna happen in New Camp. I just knew something stupid was gonna happen. And then when John Terry got a red card and we went one goal down, I thought,
This is the squad.
okay,
This is squad for the. This was the squad. This was Neya, Boateng, time. Is it Timo Shuk? Contento, Schwarzenegger, Cruz, Ruben, Muller, Ribery, and Mario Gomez. And for Chelsea was Kayi, David Luiz, Bozingo, Ashley Cole,
Trapattoni.
Bertrand, Lampard, Mikel Kalu, Mata, and
Ah, look at
Drogba.
our midfield. Our midfield was not just that seal. I think Mota was at the back of the
No,
Drogba.
that's the final now. That's the
That
final.
was the
Yes,
final.
this is the final.
Yeah.
SL was on the bench. Torres, Maluda, Ferreira, Storage, and Tombo.
No,
And
SN
Storage,
was
Storage won Champions League. Ah, God.
SN was not fit. He was not like
Yeah, he was not
physically
fit.
fit.
Yeah, he was on the
So
bench.
he couldn't really play. He was just part of the.
So Abdul, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So I knew that something crazy was gonna happen. But then when John Terry I think got a red card, and then we considered a goal, I thought, okay, Barcelona is going to smash us like 9-0 today. Like something crazy is gonna happen today. I don't know what it is, but I just thought, okay, now I see the signs of what's gonna happen. We're going to be smashed by Barcelona. Like maybe like 50. Messi is going to score like 7 goals, and they're going to create. They're going to massacre us. But
Without their
then
tiki taka.
without their tiki taka, but then when Ramirez scored and it became 1-1,
I
I
mean,
thought, man, maybe we can survive of next 1.5. Maybe we can survive. So I thought, like, okay, whatever, let's see what's gonna happen. And then, oh my God, when we survived,
I
oh,
swear, I love football. You see what I love about that game was that Barcelona immediately Chelsea get that goal from Ramirez. Barcelona feel like, okay, since let's just come out and go and score these people. I don't know if you get me.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
Yeah.
just
like we are playing with it.
let everybody just push out.
Let's finish them, man.
And
Remember,
just finish them because the thing was they were in anger. Because immediately they come out, they was this that's what we call lose guarding. They lose guard themselves to the extent no one rules about football is that when you are staying in that middle of the center, you did not cross that line to the opposite side. Whenever the ball come and meet you there, you are not enough. You are there, you're not going to blow offside because you are still on your leg. Like you see that line that just crossed that center. That was the reason why Torres was not flag offside because he was still
and
in his own side.
and you know what? Don't forget Abdullah. Barcelona missed a penalty. Messi missed a
Yeah, they
penalty.
did.
Messi, that
Yeah,
was
he is the post.
hey, hey, hey,
He is the
hey,
post.
hey.
God,
He is
That
the post.
was the day. That was the day Messi. You know, I like Chelsea Football Club. Messi
see,
scored Chelsea at the time of this their
see,
Christency.
now you see when people from Barcelona, especially in that era of from Jose Mourinho's from 2000 and like 4 to like 2012, when Barcelona player says the team we are scared of most in that era was
Was
Chelsea,
Chelsea.
you know why they're saying it. It was like
Yeah.
we did them voodoo. It was
Compacting. Yeah.
we were their bogey team. Those guys were
Yep.
they were shivering anytime they had Chelsea Football
Yep.
Club.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because it
This is
was a
the fear.
dynasty that year. It
This is
was
the
an
kind of
Abramovich
fear.
dynasty
This is
that
the kind of fear I
Abramovich
want.
built.
This is the kind of fear I want teams to have. The best team in the world with the best players saying anytime they just hear Chelsea, we are not scared of anybody. We can
Chelsea. You
play
don't want to face
Real
Chelsea.
Madrid
Yes.
10 times in a day. It doesn't matter. But once we hear Chelsea, we are shivering. We know there's trouble.
That Chelsea,
This
that
is
Chelsea
this is
defense
the
was
And you know
very
the
best.
funny
solid.
part,
That
that even
they can keep,
That
they
Matteo,
can keep.
for me, that championship in 1 and 12 for me was on the player, wasn't on the manager for me. The player started to turn on.
Look,
That's what we are saying. Now, individual brilliant.
the player just coached themselves that season.
They just coach themselves
Matteo didn't need to do anything. Anybody you put there that season, they will still play like
because
that and win.
you
Imagine
remember,
playing
you
as
remember
Spain.
what Drogba also said before the final. He said because at that point there was no hope. He said he told Mata that Mata win this Champions League for me because I guess you are spend more time in this club than me. And Mata was like, you Drogba. And it said Drogba Mata said to him that you are a goal scorer. We know what you can do, but you can't depend on me to come and win the Champions League. And Drogba said, guess what happened? Mata was the one that crossed that corner to him that he had and equalized that ball. That game was like, you see this football that time, just like you said, these players talk to themselves.
They know
Let,
themselves.
let me ask you guys a question, right? What happened to the profiles like Mata, Ozil, Isco, James Rodriguez in football? What happened to them? I don't see those kind of footballers. I don't see those kind of footballers anymore in this current era.
But
it's not
the
easy
problem
to
is
see.
because there's an era of social media now. And people are
Abdullah, just 2 seconds. I heard when you guys were talking about number 10s. The thing is, in this era, this 2010 till now era, okay, the number 10 is not trendy anymore. The teams are not playing with a number 10 anymore.
Why?
You don't go out because they just want to win.
Okay, let me ask the question like this, Abdul.
So they don't go out to look for
Yeah.
specifically this kind of players before. Again, you get my point? So it doesn't mean that next year people will not start looking for those kind of players again. You see, that's the beauty of football. But for the past whatever in that era, 2010, if you talk about 2000 and 2010, yeah, they were still using number 10s. Ronaldinho, Kaká, all these players. They're still looking for number 10s. Teams were still playing with number 10s, but now teams don't play with number 10s anymore.
I swear, I think it's because of their formation.
It's the formation they're using. So the formation they don't.
Yes.
There's no number 10 in the formation anymore.
There's no number 10 in that formation. You are right.
You don't
More
go.
I think also the number 9s are made to do that number 10 role, which is being able to distribute and being part of that build-up play. I think they metamorphosized that into because before the number 10, his role was to get the ball, create, right, pass the ball, find a true pass, or dribble or shoot, But these days,
no, Emmy, you're right. But the thing is, when these teams now they get those kind of players, they put them in the wings.
Exactly.
Players still exist.
You have said it, then we put it in.
They'll just put you in the wing. So you don't see them playing like that anymore because there's no number 10 in the formation anymore. So even players that are like that, okay, you just like put them in the wings. Look at
and then those players now they have to now adapt their game, right?
They now have to adapt to being wingers.
And then the fans will now start bombarding those players and saying, "Oh, he cannot play. He's not good enough." Yeah. Oh my God, what a shame.
Because we've gone through so many eras of football. Like when you look at this era, like this lineup now, to the era of 03, 04, Mourinho won, Ancelotti won, Scolari, so many of them. But this era now is different because those era there, they just want to win, and it comes from the ownership. Abramovich, the what he built in that, and just tell the manager, hey, your job here is to just win me trophy. Either you win me UCL or Premier League. If I don't win that league, you're out of the way. And that is the mentality we need to have in this ownership right now. And tell this manager, I know you want to build, but we need to win it. If you don't win a trophy, you are getting sacked.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys what you guys felt about this Thomas Tuchel going to Bayern Munich. I know you guys talked about it yesterday. I couldn't join the show. I had a lot of commitments, but what do you guys think about Thomas Tuchel to Bayern Munich? Do you think he wins? You think if he wins this Champions League, would you guys give him his props finally?
I rate Tuchel is an elite manager for me. But the problem with Bayern Munich for me is, I think, like I said it on my stream, it's very harsh to let go of Nagelsmann. I know, because if you look at his record isn't that bad for me.
No, he lost only 3 matches, and he scored 120 out of 37 matches or so. He won. Yeah, he scored 112 goals. Yeah, lost only 3.
Just
with almost 80-something % win percentage, right?
But the thing is, Emmy, the thing is, it's very difficult to rate a manager, especially when they're in charge of Bayern Munich. You're the only one in the league. You're the only one who's going to win the league.
Yeah.
So,
and if you don't,
So we're not really judging you based on like trophy or whatever. We're judging you
But
how you're going to win, how you win.
no,
Okay.
but also when you think about it, he's in the quarterfinals and he just beat PSG, right?
No. You said
But
we
what
think about
Oliver Kahn said, because sorry Abdul, what did Oliver Kahn because Fabrizio tweeted that Oliver Kahn said they've
You
been
don't want to
desperate to
miss
sack
out.
Nagelsmann since last year because of his performance with Villarreal.
I think they just didn't want to miss out on Thomas Tuchel because they
They
already
already
knew
said it
that
that, and
they already
also they
knew
don't want to miss out the chance of Thomas Tuchel
Thomas Tuchel.
exactly
because
because they know by
Thomas
the
Tuchel might.
summer Tuchel will see Madrid and actually
Yes,
choose Madrid.
it's not see. We just signed for Madrid. Madrid is already because with the reports and everything. Fabrizio also said it on his YouTube that Madrid are considering Thomas Tuchel as their next manager.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like Bayern Munich don't want to be at that risk where hereby they will sack this Nagelsmann and go to the market and be looking for coach and be seeing coach you will see that time is mediocre.
Yeah, but let's thank you. Bayern Munich has won every single UCL this season. No draws, no lose. They have faced Inter, Barcelona, PSG, 0 goals conceded. That's the Nagelsmann team before he gets sacked.
So wait, let me ask you guys: will you guys take Nagelsmann at Chelsea?
Of course, why not?
With 2 years contract, yes.
I am FedExing, eBay, whatever shipping method.
Wait, Abdullah, be very, Abdullah, be
You don't
very
see stars they
careful.
promise. So
Be
this is a live
very,
stream.
very
I will
careful.
record this and share it on Twitter.
Abdullah,
Because
hold on.
if it
Abdullah, hold on.
happens, they go laugh me.
Abdullah, hold on. I personally, I do not want this guy at Chelsea Football Club. I don't
So
want him because
would you?
hold on, Emi.
Go on.
About Nagelsmann. Like I was saying before, it's not about you winning a trophy in Barcelona. It's how you win. Sorry, in Bayern, it's how you win because you're going to win anyway. You get it? So,
Yeah.
and for me personally, I've not been impressed in how he has been winning. Okay, that is why I respect Hansel Flick more than him, and I would take Hansel Flick ahead of him any day, anytime. Okay,
That
so
one is
I wouldn't take Nagelsmann.
Why?
Okay, I've just told you I'm not impressed about how he's winning. He's
Oh.
going to win anyway
and again, you
because
can see the way. Sorry, AB, you can see the way Dortmund are challenging them with that league because Bayern Munich is one kind of team that when Dortmund are passing you with points before, like when those Bayern Munich, what they do is just like they will just be passing you with 15 points. So there is no hope there anymore. So I don't understand the fact that Dortmund at the top of the league, and you are dropping some points to some little team that Bayern Munich is supposed to trash. So you
Was Philip,
understand all
this is
this
me
thing.
now. If Bayern Munich knew that he wasn't their man, they gave him a 5 years and they buy him out of contract for like 13 million. I'm confused. Why? Because Hansi Flick did not get sacked. He walked out. Hansi Flick said, "No, I can't work with these people because they didn't give me exactly what they want." After he won that UCA, he automatically just walked out. So now they were stuck and said, "Okay, let's bring in Nagelsmann." And you give Nagelsmann 5 years, 30 million a year. That's like that's too much.
That's
It
club
doesn't make
for
it.
you.
I'm kind of confused that if that's the case, why not let him see as his contract? This is his second year, and you sack him in the middle of the second year. Yes, I'm a little bit confused because for me, it looked harsh because Nagelsman's dream job was Bayern, and he got his dream job, but he was fired. Fired. I know he's young, but dealing with Manuel Neuer and co for me was a big issue for me because those are legends of the game. Where if you have a bad reputation with them, you can't win them. But these are big players that have been there for a very long time. These are legends for me.
I understand. It's just they have to just take the lot and just do what they have to do because now I think Bayern Munich they are not just this scared because if I can tell you that if it was Nagelsmann with what he played with PSG and PSG was not using all those chances, if he went to go and play it with Man City, Alan will just score hat-trick. Hat-trick. See, hat-trick plus one and leave the pitch.
Yeah.
See,
It's better Thomas Tuchel just came in and just block Man City because that will be I'm not even considering my game anymore. I just want to see how Thomas Tuchel will just give this Man City what they want. Let Tuchel just do me one favor. Just give them what they want. And one thing I don't still like about Tuchel is not a manager that like goals, that want to score you goals. That one I don't like
He
goals
will
at
pack
all.
all the balls. Lord have mercy.
Yes, Tuchel will just lock you. That's what he can do. He will just lock you and make sure maybe we just call you like 2 goal. Yes,
I just have this weird scenario where I can say Nagelsmann and Tuchel in the semi-final if we beat Madrid. Imagine that happen. Imagine that happen. Chelsea let's go Potter at the Bunga Nagelsmann and he face off against his former club in Bayern Munich and they knock them out of the UCL. Chai, that would be a sweet revenge. That would be
the Bayern Munich would be in silence. Everywhere will be in silence. But I want Tuchel to meet Chelsea again. Let Chelsea try and beat Madrid and let Bayern try and beat Man City. I want to see that Tuchel in Stamford Bridge again.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Tuchel could come. It might be Nagelsmann that will take over, not Potter, because Chelsea might decide to sack Potter if the result doesn't go well. Have you seen our match in the EPL?
Sorry, who will take over?
I don't know because Fabrizio tweeted that before I come to this thing 2 hours ago that Chelsea should not write off Nagelsmann. He might take over from Potter because Chelsea are already keeping an eye on him. And he said because of Christopher Vivon link with Nagelsmann before and when he was out Leipzig, that is a strong communication that Chelsea, this destination of Nagelsmann will be Chelsea instead of Tottenham Hotspur.
Let them give him 2 years contract. I will take him for 2 years contract.
And he said people also need to remember that people are saying Todd Bowley and Co are backing. He said yes, they are backing, but he said the result is very pivotal. That if Potter doesn't get the admirable result, the club, the fan base, and the ownership are wanting, they will relieve him of his job.
This Potter issue, I'm tired. I don't just want to talk about it again.
But to be very honest, right? I keep hearing that the owners are backing this guy, and even if the top manager becomes available, they are not interested.
Result is very important. That if it does not get the desirable result, it will be relief of his job. He said the fear now is managers has been sacked now. Potter is not even.
Please, can I see our next pictures, please?
Let me show you.
But please, because now Nepa take the last regime, and I hear that Avant, his favorite personal striker, is out of the squad, injured.
Oh wait, is Havertz injured?
Yes, he has a muscle injury.
So let's play football. You will lose this job no matter what.
So who's going to be the striker? Because if Havertz has a muscular injury, that's 3 weeks at least.
Yeah,
at least 3 weeks.
He should be back for Madrid. I'm not sure.
3 to 5 weeks.
Oh, first one, Aston Villa, Unai Emery. That one has beaten Chelsea. Let's move on to the second one. Bayern, Liverpool. That might be a draw. Yes, Wolves. We are losing to Wolves.
Oh, we draw.
We are losing to Wolves. Forget those draws. See, Potter. This man, I don't want to hear that name again. It's just like when you open any your channel and say, let's talk about Potter. It's just like you are just telling me to be talking about one problem. Just the main issue. If there is any GoFundMe, let us donate for the owner so he can sack this man. It's better Chelsea don't have a manager now. We just know that there is no manager. That I have a manager that doesn't know what he is.
Manager is.
Yes.
Because
when you don't have it, and your take,
I'm looking at this team now. I am like I'm celebrating my team. I'm saying we might get beaten mercilessly, not even small, mercilessly.
But you know one thing, I believe those players will leave their game against Madrid. I don't know what will happen at the Bernabeu.
Yes.
But that's a game that I know they will leave themselves.
They might thank Aston Villa, Liverpool, and Wolverhampton Wanderers and just go and play Madrid and win. I've seen Chelsea do it. I've seen Chelsea player does it. They will thank the EPL and they'll say, okay, all our head will be on Champions League. That's what they're gonna do. I've seen Chelsea does it before, so I won't be surprised if I see that happen. I won't be surprised.
Maybe now that Caravant is injured, maybe Potter will go and play Gallagher as striker because that man sometimes I don't know what's wrong with him.
It might do it. It might play Joao Felix as a striker. You never can tell.
Yes, he might play Joao Felix as a striker. Then he will not say, okay, Messi, Matt, come and play where Joao Felix is playing. I know that's what he will do. You are right.
He might even play Mikhail Modric there or Pulisic, one of them.
Because your take on this Anthony Barry that Tuchel want to come and root?
Barry is not bad because he's worked with Barry before. So if you take Barry, it's fair enough.
Barry wants to leave because apparently Graham Potter doesn't rate him. Yeah, Graham Potter doesn't rate him. Remember when this season, when Graham Potter first entered, Chelsea started conceding, goals through set pieces. In fact, every set piece, we are almost at the chance of conceding. And they said they started blaming the guy, but the guy was actually trying to understand what there was actually a miscommunication between him and Potter and his Potter's coaches at the time. But fast forward to this year, kind of the guy has gotten a hold back on our set pieces, although it has not been fantastic. But you could tell there's a difference. When last season Chelsea scored most, I think we had the most goals scored from set pieces for the clubs in the Premier League. This season we have considered the most, and we are considered almost the most. I think we are like 15th, and then we've also not scored as many from set pieces in Premier League compared to last season. And the difference is just Tuchel and Potter. I think that's the only difference.
No, exactly. So we have to for me.
Now, Fofana is playing for under 21. I don't think you can call him a Potter will call him back.
Before we round up and everything, because I want to go Potter soon. See, this is me talking. I'm just laughing when I look at the remaining fixture. I'm just like, this man might get fired. And Nagelsmann and Conte being sacked, give Chelsea another league and say, okay, we can fire Potter, because Fabrizio has been mentioning it even when Potter took over. He's been saying it. Christopher Vivell and Potter, there's a miscommunication between them. It does not rate Potter. It doesn't rate him.
Who is that?
Vivell and Potter. He said it doesn't. Fabrizio said Vivell doesn't rate Potter. It does not. It's only keep him.
Yeah, I know. Any chance Vivell has will sack Potter. I swear.
Yes, and now, and even Fabrizio tweeted this after, he said now that Nagelsmann is available, that will force Boli to sack Potter, because Vivell will tell Boli, this is our guy. If you're gonna build the Red Bull Salzburg project you want to build, Nagelsmann is the guy to build it with. He's the man. If you want to build this project, you're talking about young players, improve young players, make them improve, change their way of playing. It is Nagelsmann. That's who.
I agree.
That's what he's telling. I worked with him before in RB Leipzig. Nkunku has already worked with him before. So these players, he knows them. I've worked with him before. We have good communication and relationship. So I'm be surprised.
Abdul, do you think that sells? That particular line of logic sells? I think so. I think it sells, because people will be like, I think this Vivell will be able to convince this guy and say, you know what? This is our guy. This guy, we can build with this guy. But let's first give him let's not give him 5 years, let's give him 3 years or 2-3 years. And let's see what he can do.
Anyway, let them do what they want to do. All I want is for them to they should just rate Potter. That's just it. That news when I wake up.
Also, Philip, let me also say this: if you want Potter out, this guy Nagelsmann, he also needs some time too, right? No, it's not just going to be.
Nagelsmann will be giving him.
Coaches don't need time.
But people like Nagelsmann would already see his pattern of football by now. Like, when they hired Potter in September, this is April, right? By now, we should be seeing Nagelsmann would have already put his imprint on this team. And Nagelsmann is a very intelligent coach. I like his style of football.
Someone said he's going to Spurs. He's not going to Spurs. They already appoint somebody.
No, it's not going to. When they are big, when they are, Madrid is coming up. I'm not saying he's going to go to Madrid, but there are a lot of clubs coming up. So if I'm him, I'll just take my
Because
time.
even Gab McCarthy even said it, and Julian already said it on ESPN that the best case scenario for Nagelsmann will be Chelsea because of the way you can improve young players and the kind of way they're going to spend money. And he also said it. Gab McCarthy and Lorenz said Vivel. They keep mentioning Vivel. Vivel is the striking point in him because he is the one that can convince Nagelsmann. They worked together before, so he's the only one that have that key and say, okay, I want you in Chelsea. Let's work together. Let's make it work. He's the one. That's the name they've been mentioning to the reporter, Christopher Vivel. Christopher Vivel. That's the name. That's the name they've been mentioning.
I don't know if you guys have talked about this our brother James before the show, because
We'll talk about him on Friday because we're gonna be doing the preview for the Premier League. I saw the report. I'm like, okay.
but that guy.
We shall talk about it on Friday.
Let me hear his comment.
So, guys, thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate you guys. Chilla is on.
Okay, now take care, man. Nice one, eh? Take care, guys.
Peace, everybody, my people. Peace. God bless.